The ship has landed.
Oh, it's that day. Okay, good. All right, here we go. There's nobody here yet. I say we all dance. Let's get up and
That's a good idea.
dance.
You start.
Coming to you hot on a dusty road.
Why is that?
Good
Good loving. I got a truckload.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get it, you got something.
You got something.
You got something. All right, we're coming to you live from SHOT Show, Sands Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada. Doc
Yes.
Thompson, Brad Staggs, and some other guy that's been here with us for the last couple of minutes who decided, I guess,
Ron.
sit in and must be an exhibitor here.
That's Ron.
That would be me.
The exhibitor of, what is your company?
He's a tech expert.
The tech expert.
Let's not laugh about it. I think it's all going good this morning.
We'll see. We'll see. Still 3 hours to go. Good stuff here today. I'm sorry, the president is screwing this up now, guys. I told you yesterday I thought he was, and you're not getting out of this now. You're done. It's over.
He cannot fold. He cannot
Dude,
fold.
he just folded.
Well, he hasn't done it yet. He's saying words.
He just folded.
He's saying words.
How do you get out of? Okay, I'll open up the government. We'll get rid of that shutdown if you give me a little bit of the money, dude. He's a negotiator. He's a negotiator, and he doesn't know you don't flinch first.
Well,
He just
and that's
flinched.
it. And that's it. I think that every time some deal has happened, we've all questioned, why did he do that? Why did he do this way? Why the tariffs? Every step of he's had a plan. I don't know. I'm just not ready to.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Judging on past behavior, I'm not ready.
I don't know how he pulls it out of his hat and says, "Okay, I won." He's not going to win this thing.
You don't know. You don't know that.
No. If he's used to being a negotiator and thinks, I'll give up a little to get something, okay, fine. That's a solid negotiating skill and tactic when you're in private business. But when you're dealing with the opposition on Capitol Hill, and when it's this much of a stalemate and you say, I'll give up the big thing that I have, what does he have? The shutdown.
Yeah.
He has nothing else. They are not willing to deal with the dreamers, the so-called dreamers.
Right.
He put that on the table. Okay, you can deal with something there. And the right is not happy about that. And then all of a sudden you go, well, with the shutdown, well, we can open up if I get a little bit of the money. No. The people that support Donald Trump want him to keep flipping the bird to Nancy Pelosi and the House.
Yes.
Screw you. We'll keep this stuff shut down.
Yes.
Unless I get it. I would dig his heels in like grim death.
He should, but as I'm thinking, he's got something up his sleeve. He has something, and it could be.
What's he gonna do?
If there are any cracks appearing, it's because they've done some poll where his popularity might be slipping.
Of course,
that's the only thing that would be.
Of course,
knocking
that's
on his
exactly
ego.
what it is. His advisors are going, okay, this is going to be bad for you. This is going to be bad. You're popular, whatever it is. There's some reason he's doing this. He's seen a bunch of reports where he looks bad and he's taking the blame, or they've done the polling. Whatever it is, I'm sorry. That's the people that elected Donald Trump. The one thing that he has is the outsider, the person who's willing to shut down the government and let him be damned.
Yes. And I wish he would do that. I wish he would do that, and I wish at the end of this the TSA would be closed and padlocked.
I'm not saying that would be the outcome. I'm just saying they want him to do battle.
Yeah.
They do not want him to budge on this stuff. I'd be willing to bet if you could poll the people who truly supported Trump and said, you want him to open this, make a deal, or you want him to just leave this shut down, knowing the fact that he may not get reelected, that they may drag his name through the polls, that you may lose this, and the other. The people that elected him are willing to let the whole crap burn to the ground to do the right thing and keep this shut.
Yes, I would agree.
That's what the people that supported him want. They're tired of this stuff. So if you start saying, well, I'll deal on the wall, you give me a little bit of money, 10%, a little down payment. Here's the thing. Even if they agreed to that, even if Nancy and the others said, oh, okay, all right, listen, Donnie, we'll open up Don, you hear? Okay. You open up the government, and we'll give you a down payment, 10%, and they'll start building the wall. Okay, you can call it a wall. You can build it to your specs. Do you think they're going to follow up and give him the rest of the money?
Are you suggesting they'll be Indian givers?
Uh-oh.
Yes, I am.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm saying they will be. They will likely renege. Maybe be renegers.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, Indian givers or renegers, call them what you want. But yes, they absolutely would do that.
Just wanted to make sure I understand.
And if they give him a down payment, whether it's 10% or half of the money or 98%,
right.
it's not like they're going to say build it to your specs the way you want. That's the whole point. We're going to call it a barrier, not a wall. It's going to be a chain link fence, not a whatever. And he just gave up or suggested he would give up. I mean, is he serious about it? His only card.
I want to believe that he, and again, I didn't vote for him. I just want to believe that he has a plan, and this is part of his ultimate plan. He's smarter than I am when it comes to this stuff, so I have to believe that he's
I don't think he is. I do not think he is when it comes to this. I really do not. You've got two issues here. The government being, quote, unquote, shut down.
Right.
All right, it
should be. We don't have any money to run it.
We don't have any money to run it. It's not being handled right. Many of these people are truly unneeded. Those that are needed, how come they're not at work? The whole shutdown is a fail from start to finish, and it has been in the past. Then the other issue, the wall. Yes, we have a huge issue. Mm-hmm. He's not going to win either one of these if he keeps this up. The government will open up. It'll be business as usual. We'll continue to overspend. Right. We're just shy of $22 trillion in debt. Nothing will have changed. He didn't accomplish anything. He will have went through all of this, having his name dragged through the mud. And the reason that's important is because it gives you political clout. You know, you got another election coming up where Kamala Harris has already announced, Elizabeth Warren's already announced. It's all coming down.
Right.
We're in that cycle already. What have you won for all of this? You've got to get something. Donald Trump was in there because he was going to be the stopper. He was going to do things different. So you don't win on the shutdown. You'll have accomplished nothing. And within a year, 2 years, whatever it happened, there will be another shutdown just like this in a debt ceiling debate. We will accomplish nothing. Number two, you have a border that is porous. You have people, Americans, being shot and killed and raped and assaulted and all of this stuff. From people who are breaking into the country.
Right.
That has not changed. They have done nothing to truly change that.
No, not yet, not yet.
So what happens? They do some sort of deal. Nancy agrees to 20% of it. 50%. They're going to start construction. Where? How much? What's it look like?
Right.
I don't know if you know this or not, but a wall is only good if it's complete.
Yes. Well, and
if you have a 3-mile long wall that someone can just walk around the end, it's not really going to do you a whole lot of good now, is it?
Well, and here's the thing: like down in McAllen, where the Rio Grande goes through, part of it. Obviously, you can't build a wall. I guess you could build some sort of barrier across the water.
Build it, of course you can.
But what they do is, literally, you can see across the river. It's only a couple hundred yards wide, if that. There's a park on the other side where they pull up and park and leave a lot of stolen cars. Then they jump on a jet ski and they come over to this side and they ditch the jet ski and pew, they take off running.
Right, exactly. That will not change.
That's the tough.
So what are you going to get out of this moving forward?
I just want to believe he has a plan.
Conservatives, libertarians have gotten nothing from those two issues so far.
Right.
Unless he does something different, we're not going to get anything. And then what happens? Donald Trump doesn't get reelected? And if he does, is he going to not get you something in the next deal?
Right.
Deal, shutdown. Is he going to go through another shutdown next time we have to raise the debt ceiling? And we don't? And then, he caved the last time, so he'll cave this time. He'll be impotent as far as that's concerned. In fact, he may be impotent across the board even if he gets reelected. And then what are our options? What is the likelihood that 2 years from now, if he doesn't get reelected, you'll get somebody else that is an outsider, that is conservative, that is libertarian?
That's a good businessman. There is no other. Well, I can't believe I'm going to say
folks.
This
is it.
There is no other Trump. There was no other George Washington. There is no other Trump.
No, think about this. That's it.
It's true. I don't know.
So you get somebody to challenge him that's going to finally be the conservative, that's willing to truly stand up? No, Trump was the bomb thrower you wanted to do this. The conservatives and libertarians that supported him were not doing this because supporting him because they thought he was going to be the ultimate conservative. No, in fact, they were willing to overlook that he's not all that conservative.
Grabbing the hoo-ha.
Because he was going to be a dick.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly it.
They hired the outsider to go in and slap them around. And hopefully, as part of that, get the greater good of, well, at least he's disrupting government as usual, and maybe we'll get some conservative fallout, and some of that has happened. But moving forward, what are you going to get? They will have survived the great challenge from the unwashed masses of doing things different, and the ruling class will continue to rule business as usual, each side winning about 50% of the time. Trump must dig his heels in, take the bullhorn out to the bull dyke in the House of Representatives and say, we are leaving this bitch shut down. Go home. Nothing to see here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Get the hell out. I want to believe he has. I want to believe he has a plan. That he has a plan.
He doesn't. He does. What is it? What's going to happen? He's going to pull some tada out? No.
It's possible.
Keep it shut down and point out the failures of a shutdown in the system. He could rise above all of this if he lays it out right. Number one, folks, look at all the people we don't need. And to the people we do need, it sucks. You're right. You should be getting paid right now. You should be at work, government workers. Some of you are truly needed. And those that are truly needed for the little bit of government we need, this is a scam. The fact that we can hold this over your head, this is outrageous. This is as bad as the spoils system back in the 1800s. So here it is. Let's get the size of government under control, number one. The unneeded, there should never be a non-needed government employee that is on the dole. Hey, are you needed? Great. Then we cannot furlough you because you're needed. If you're not needed, then guess what? You no longer have a job. How can you not make that argument to people?
I know.
So you go out there and then say, government workers that are needed, I'm going to make it so you can't have this happen to you again. This will not happen to you again under the Trump plan. And the plan is this. We are going to cap overspending with something we call a balanced budget amendment.
See, it's crazy talk. Crazy talk.
It's really pretty simple.
Crazy talk.
And if he had anybody with him that knew marketing of this stuff, he would be able to take it to those government workers by telling them that.
Surely he does.
You need a one-sentence explainer of why he's doing what he's doing. It's not just about a border wall. It's about national security. And it's about telling government it's out of control. And you know how you know it's out of control, government worker bees? The fact that we're able to go back and forth, Republican and Democrat, a dispute, whether it's important or not, and furlough you.
Right.
Are you needed? Why is it wrong that you're furloughed? Well, because I can't pay my family. That's outrageous that you would have an employer that would furlough you and treat you this way. But how can we? Because government's structured wrong. Are you not needed? Great. You shouldn't have a job. You really think you should have a job or somebody should have a job where they're not needed?
Well,
they know the truth.
I need a job to support my family.
Great. Get a job where you're needed. That's the way this whole system works. You take that to those people and say, follow my plan. Yes, Nancy's going to go ahead and pander you and say, oh, government workers or whatever. But guess what? She's part of this deal too. Have the Democrats fixed this for the last 50 years? What about the Republicans?
No.
I can fix this if we change the structure so you cannot be furloughed. That's how you start. And you know how that happens? Balanced budget amendment, where we don't have to dick around with the debt ceiling anymore.
And it keeps going up, by the way.
Where's that argument?
I want to believe.
And then the border wall. It's national security. Well, we need it. You believe in open borders? Great. You don't? How are we going to do this? What's your plan, Nancy? Well, we've allotted money. No, I want specifics.
They don't have
He's
any.
not made either one of those arguments. Where is
They
it?
don't have any. The Democrats and Nancy
No.
don't have.
They don't, and I'm pissed off about this. Because we're going through all of this nonsense and we're getting nothing out of it. This is the one opportunity, finally, in all of the shutdowns, Clinton, Obama, that we have to make these arguments. You finally have the guy in there that's supposedly willing to stand up to him, and he's not.
Dude, you're killing my buzz. I mean, seriously.
It just pisses me off when I hear him last night. Well, maybe I'd be willing to, open government up if we have, a little bit of the money.
I came in here.
How weak. Did you remember Ruthless People?
Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
He says, you can always spot a bad salesman when they drop their price right off.
I don't do this. Rarely do I do this, but $10 right now.
$10 for you.
Make a
never do
decision
this.
right now. Okay, $5. $3.50.
Stupid.
$1.50.
By the way, Nancy's already said
Firm
no, and of
handshake.
course she should say no.
She's going to. Nancy's got balls as big as coconuts.
She's got bigger balls than Trump.
I want to believe he's doing something. I want to
Show me.
believe. I
Show
don't
me
know
results.
if he. It's
And
still
I'm
in
saying,
play.
if
It's
you-
poker.
No, it is, and guess
It's
what?
poker.
He
hasn't-
just flinched.
Yeah, I don't know that he has.
He has. Listen, folks, if he has something, fine. I'll be the first one a year from now, a month from now, whenever this is all over to say, wow, I was wrong about this. But I'm telling you this because it certainly seems like he does not. And if he does not, you better get your crap in line, conservatives, libertarian, and you start putting the pressure on the president, and everybody got him elected, start putting pressure on him to say, you're getting ready to screw this thing up. We do not want you to simply open the government if you get a partial whatever. You take it to the mat.
That could be the best reason that he is playing a good poker hand is that you don't know what he's going to do. He's unreadable. You think he's going to crack, but
I
he's
cannot
not
come up
cracking.
with any scenario where he comes out of this with anything we would want.
Which would be the sign of a fabulous poker player. Because man, I thought he was down. I thought he was gone.
No.
I went all in.
No,
and
no,
what
no.
He came in and
there's-
cleaned my clock.
There's no way out. There's nothing. There's no direction he could head that would get him out of this.
Said the spider to the fly.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing left.
It's possible.
You come out and you say, I'm willing to negotiate on your one big deal? What's he going to – I was just joking? He's going to come up with something else fantastic as part of a deal?
Couldn't he still do a national emergency, Doc?
Yeah, he could do that. What does that mean, though?
Well, I heard yesterday that they were drafting something. The White House was drafting something for a $7 billion for a national emergency.
Okay, good. $7 billion. What's the wall going to cost?
Karen's on my side. Don't underestimate Donald Trump.
Well, that's what Matt was saying yesterday. He's like, give him 48 hours. From the time you hear something, give it 48 hours because you know he's going to change. He's going to do something.
MCDMXDM, Doc Thompson does not
No.
trust the plan. He stopped listening to Q. Matlock will soon step in and thrust
Nope.
Doc back into the boat.
No, it's not, guys. I'm telling you, he's screwing this up. There's no way, and here's how I know, because the argument is not being made. And, by the way, his $7 billion, if it was $20 billion, it's not enough. It's not enough for the wall.
What's the RIF
And
option?
by the way, do you guys understand what else it takes to build the wall?
The RIF option?
A lot of imported labor?
To build the wall.
That's what we do. If there's 30 million of them here,
No,
we have the workforce to build the wall.
No, of course we do, but that's
That's
not
how
the
they
point.
get to stay? Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
No, that's not the no,
Genius.
That's
Yes.
not the point, though. It's not about any of that stuff. It's also about, can you legally build the wall?
If you got 30 million people ready to lay some bricks
No.
down, oh yeah.
Do you know the challenges to building the wall legally alone? Eminent domain through most of it. Challenges from the EPA. Well, you're building something through the desert where nothing really exists, but of course, how's it going to affect the things that don't really exist there?
Did we get to the moon with that attitude?
No, the point is
Did
that
we?
You know what? You know why we got to the moon? Because it was a completely different thing. The public was on the side. We had the money. People were in line on this stuff. It's a different time. Nobody is on board with this. It's going to be constant challenges. The wall's not going to get built. Nancy's not going to do that. There's no way in hell. She can't do that. They can't give an inch on it. Folks, they're on record voting for some of this same stuff. We have them on tape. You've heard the Chuck Schumer. You've heard them where they've argued for a wall. All of that's out there. And yet they're now saying no to all of it. Why? Because they're playing to their constituents. They will not, under any circumstance, allocate anything for anything even remotely similar to a border wall structure or other. They cannot, they will not, because they're looking ahead 2 years. That's the political game. And they are emboldened. The political climate, the waves are with them at this point. That's what's going on.
Well, the radical left is wearing them out. There's no question
Right.
about that. But the bottom line is there are people who are sending money to Pelosi and Schumer. There are people who are sending
Right.
money that live on the other side of this supposed wall now.
So,
In Mexico.
Yes.
They
So-
can't do that.
so the point is, they will not do this. So Trump has to get something. And I've been hoping that the something he was going to get wasn't actually so much as dealing with the wall. It was going to be more about the shutdown and other things, or some sort of immigration issue. Okay, we'll open up the government. You're not going to fund the wall. I'll give you the Dreamers. I'll let you get them. It's not their fault that they're here, but in exchange for that, you got to kick out the illegals, the other, whatever it is. There's some other deal being made. The deal is not going to be over the wall. It never could be. It cannot happen that way. And even if they were to give something, it will be nowhere near what they need. And even if it is billions of dollars, they cannot build it. From a legal standpoint, there will be too many objections from PETA, from the EPA, from the eminent domain. There'll be claims of racism. It will be tied up in the courts for decades. Point being, that was a bargaining chip. And now you don't even have that if you say, well, we'll open up government. Mark my words. 3 weeks down the road, 2 months down the road, whatever it is, you will look back at this, and you will have gotten nothing. Trump will spin this as, we got something, well, I got this, and it is not the case. He has been out chess played by Nancy Pelosi. He's been out chess played when it comes to the State of the Union address as well. Unless next Tuesday night or something else, he takes it big, and we gave him ideas. We've given him ideas. Take it to the border and hold the State of the Union down there. The best that'll happen is he's going to hold it from the Oval Office or something.
Well,
and he'll give a nice little speech, whatever. Again, a wasted opportunity to truly show what's going on. It's about national security. Take it to the spot Kate Steinle was killed. Read a list of the people who've been killed. Show the true problems. Lay out your plan about fixing the government by completely revolutionizing the government and getting rid of the possibility that we will just have a debt ceiling that can or could not be raised in the future by changing the entire thing. None of that's going to happen. And I'm telling you, the clock is ticking because we're in re-election mode.
You got Dan Maynard on your side. He hopes he's wrong, but he agrees with you.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope
think
you
you are.
mock me 3 weeks from now when you're like, see, he got this and it's an amazing deal done. But I'm telling you, I see how this stuff, I'm pretty damn sneaky about this stuff. And in the past, the things that we've gotten from the Trump administration have been, at times, very good. But it's been more of support or not support for certain issues. Did we get what we wanted as far as Obamacare goes?
Did we get what we want?
Yes.
Oh, hell no.
No. What did we got? We got it kind of unfunded. Much of the structure is still in place. That it'll still be easier for them to fire it up. And when the next Democrat president's in there and they have control of the sales, fire it back up. And we'll be dealing with this instead of gutting the entire thing. Trump do as he's want, but of course the Republicans were on the hook for most of it. Why didn't we do that?
There's a plan.
Trump pulled out of the Paris climate deal. Okay, good. That was a good thing.
Right.
But it's still very executive ordery. Not the grand, big, long-term gestures, locking stuff up, tying it in, forcing. Instead, it's for the next couple of years when I'm president, it'll be pretty good.
So now
we got a tax deal that was good, not great. Folks, is that why you fought for this crap for the last 10 years, marching your ass out in the rain at tea parties all over the country, being engaged, dealing with all the stress and pain for some temporary Band-Aids? Isn't it time now for Trump to lead and kick some Republican ass, take that turtle out, wring his damn neck, throw him in the pot and roast him and say, this is what we are doing. You get in line or I'm going after you like Pelosi. And you know what? If it hurts me politically, oh well. I'm willing to put it on the line. That's what I'm looking for. And with that comes fair tax, flat tax, get rid of the debt ceiling, build the damn wall. We are doing these things that will last long term. I know what's coming. 2 years from now, we're going to end up with President Kamala Harris or some other jackass like that, and we're going to be back to as stressed out as we were for the 8 years under Obama.
So
I'm looking for true leadership.
You're rooting for Yellowstone and Mars now with me. Is that what
No,
you're
I'm
doing?
rooting for Trump to actually get his ass together and act together and kick some ass.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50. The Daily Mojo.
All right, get your communiques in. Man, this stuff I find so frustrating. It's so damn easy. We did the work. The guy's there. Let's
Right.
go. That's what I'm looking for.
Stinky says, don't worry, we're going to mock you 3 weeks from now, no matter what happens.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that. But I mean about this specifically.
Oh, well, there's that. And Erica on Facebook, she's about to explain it to me, but she hopes that during the State of the Union that he invokes the RAF option.
Reduction in force.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that. And if he does fire those employees, what's that mean? What does that mean? What happens if he does?
Well, it'll be a big stink, first of all. They'll be in the private sector, secondly.
What happens politically?
Politically? Well, again, probably about half. You're going to get half and half. Half people are going to love it, half the people are going to hate it. We seem to be divided down the middle on just about everything else. So,
Yeah, no, this will be bad for him.
if he fires him,
Oh, yeah.
worked for Reagan.
Actually, it didn't. He really took that one on the chin for a while. I'm glad he did. Don't
Was that
get
his
me wrong.
second term or his first term?
That was first, I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
he got reelected.
He did.
So,
But, of course, you were dealing with a lot of different things. I mean, there's some similarities. No, the bigger issue here is Donald Trump has already been made to look unstable. And you're looking wrongly. But you're looking at not the sycophants on either side or the rabid supporters. You're looking at those people in the middle. That's always the battle, whether
Right.
it's 10% in the middle that sways one way or the other, or 50%, whatever that number is. And unfortunately, they being the statists out there,
Right.
in collusion with the media, have been a constant make Donald Trump look unstable. Not even just unintelligent. That's always the game they play. George W. Bush is stupid.
Right.
He wasn't stupid. He's just a progressive.
Right.
And Donald Trump, they've tried to make him look dumb. That didn't stick so much. So then it's like he's corrupt and unstable. Got to invoke the 25th Amendment. And they are going to bang that drum. It is going to be difficult for Donald Trump to get reelected anyways. Now, I'm willing to admit that I was wrong about him getting elected the first time. I really didn't think he'd be able to pull it off. I was pleasantly surprised that it was not Hillary Clinton. Right?
I knew it from the get-go.
But, and maybe I'm wrong about that now. It's going to be really difficult. When you know the damage that has been done, the stuff that they said about him, I mean, look, it's crazy. And they're
Yes.
right.
But this is the same guy who stood there and said he could shoot somebody in Times Square and get elected. And he's not too far off the mark.
That is true. But you're talking about a much greater battle now, a much greater battle for re-election because of the damage that's been done. Look at there are people that just spend every second of every day being ridiculous about the things he says.
Yes.
I mean, Bigley and everything else, there's tearing apart. You know what the hell he meant? It's like I said with Obama. Okay, we mocked him and had fun with the 57 states thing, but
So
most
the
people out there really didn't think that he thought there was more than 50 states. Come
Right.
on.
So essentially, we're still dealing with that sliver in the middle, and are they happy or unhappy with what he's done to this point? That's all that's all that matters, because literally that little tiny shift, one way or the other, is going to decide the outcome of the next election.
I don't want to screw around with this next time around and fight these same battles over and over again, the specific ones. In general, we're going to be fighting these battles about philosophies. That's true. But I also know when you're in power, when you've done this work, you've got to build up so much momentum and steam to make it easier to stave off the bad next time you're not in power. You've got to build up so much momentum. Obama did that in spades. Oh, my gosh. Do you remember how that needle was moved every single day? Every day we woke up and went, oh, my God, they're doing that now.
Right.
And just built all of that up. In fact, look at what we've been doing, trying to undo Obamacare and these other things. We need some big gestures, and we need some leadership, and we need to start giving the president support in the Senate and House.
And everybody thinks you need a shot right now, by the way. So
I need a shot.
yeah, tequila, whiskey. Name
Okay,
it,
no
you
problem.
need a
Yeah,
shot.
communiques there.
Yes, and they all suggest you need a shot. Mojo Jedi, it's early ranting. Doc, someone needs an APR coffee and a shot.
Well, that was-
As much as I pay for insurance, I should be able to use it to help a kid who needs it. Dave, I don't know what.
that was the one you just. Who's this guy next to me?
That's Ron.
Ron, how are you?
Yes,
buddy?
sir.
How you doing? Nice to
I'm
meet
good.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Is there? What was the one you just shared? I think you had a communique during the break.
Oh, let me see if I can find it.
It's Carmen, right? I remember
Karma,
it.
karma, 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 karma. Is that the song?
Not Karma.
It
Camellia.
says, from Carmen. Careful, Doc. GB lost a lot of support going exactly where you are now.
What? Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a long way to go before I get to that rabid hatred of Donald Trump that he displayed.
There's a big difference in not wanting him anywhere near the White House and wanting him to succeed.
When you basically paint the idea that that he is the worst thing that could happen to America ever, there's a big difference there. As I laid out during the campaign, I vote on track record. He had no track record, even out in the private sector, that I could count on being Democrat and Republican, having supported a lot of Democrats and bad ideas, even though I understood them. Now he does. I've even said I would likely vote for him again this time around because, for the most part, he's done what he has to do and did the right things. You look at about 80% when we go down the list, certain laws, executive actions. I'm looking now for the grand gestures. We did the work, and if he caves on this border, the government shutdown thing without getting anything, I'm going to be very disappointed in this. Make the argument, not just be a jerk and a problem for a while. And if you are saying, well, I want him to just be a problem and stick it to him, great. Then truly stick it to him and don't give up on the border wall. You got to give me something here, Mr. President. Stick it to them so I know you're at least being a disruptor. Or come up with the solutions and make the argument. Right now, what? So just a few weeks of all of us getting beat up in the media, because it's not just the president; it's anybody that's conservative or libertarian that has these values.
Right. By the way, is Ginsburg still alive?
I think she is alive, but I don't think she has her faculties about her.
I just realized we haven't even thought about her in a week.
Yeah.
Matt's covered it on his show.
Who?
Matlock.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, right after us.
Right.
He's covered it a bunch, hasn't he?
He has.
Has
Yeah.
he? So she's still alive.
Yeah, she is. The thing with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, it's not even about keeping her alive until the next president, because we'll have a Democrat, is what they're thinking. It's not just that. It's there are votes that are happening right now. They're ruling on cases before the Supreme Court. They're hearing them and they're writing their decisions on it. Supreme Court justices, you don't write this stuff. You don't do the work. You have people who clerk for you, do all of the work. I mean, they sit there and hear the oral arguments because that's in public.
Right.
And then ultimately they will make their mind up, yay or nay. But all of the legal work of, is there precedent for this? Show me cases. All of that's done. It's laid out in front of them. So when they're looking at a case, it's not like they're studying up on it, for months and months, burning the candle, the midnight oil, or burning the candle, both ends. Let me look at it. No. They look at the stuff. Okay, here's the whatever. Check this out. I remember a case here. Boom. And even if they write it on either side, they don't write 700 pages. They write a couple of paragraphs based on all the information given. The point being that Ruth Bader Ginsburg does not even have to have all of her faculties as long as she has worker bees and the basic containment that she's lost it. She's on life support. They write all of this stuff. Remember, she didn't even show up at work.
No.
So they don't know.
So it's at this point you think it's one grunt for yes, two grunts for no.
Yes,
Okay.
at best.
All right.
That's honestly what I believe.
Your Honor, just
I think it
grunt.
would be pretty difficult for her to actually be dead in them to pull this off. Because, I mean, they could, but then you're talking a lot of stories and somebody getting, now she actually died and we tested the body and all this stuff. But they certainly could pull it up where she does not have all of her faculties, where she's not actually making the decisions. In fact, there have been presidents like that. I think it was Woodrow Wilson, who they really believe was incapacitated. I mean, completely incapacitated for the last year or so of his presidency. And his wife, that would be second wife, Edith, I think, who was really running things.
Are you suggesting they may have the tenderbuck hooked up to Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
No,
That was horrible.
Hook it
That
to her
was-
eye.
That
Hook it
was
to her eye.
horrible. And I apologize.
Yeah, I hope they don't hook that up to her because there's a chance they'll shock her back. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I've been a little off all week, feeling a little bit, what's the word I'm looking, bloated?
Bloated, ugly.
No, that's normal. Just a little uncomfortable. It may
Right.
be the IBS. I think it is.
It could be.
Did you see Izzo last night mentioning the IBS?
Yeah.
He ran with it.
Yeah.
If you suffer from the IBS or any digestive issues, you might want to look into Otron Teal at lovemytummy.com.
Don't even bother trying to spell
Just go
it.
to love me.
Just go
I
to
get it.
love my tummy.
Atrantil.
Love, what is it?
See, don't, like I said, don't
No,
try to
give me the whole
don't try
thing.
to spell it or say it.
Trontil.
Say it again.
Trontil. You're welcome.
It's
I don't think that's right.
lovemytummy.
That doesn't sound right.
Just go to lovemytummy.
Lovemytummy.com.
Forget
Love
about
my-
how you say it, how you spell it. It's just about relief.
Shouldn't it be love your tummy?
I don't want to love your tummy. I want to love my tummy.
I know, but for other people out there, I'm saying go to love my tummy. It sounds like I'm
Right.
telling them to love my stomach. me, Doc.
Whatever it takes to get them.
How about love your own tummy?
love the tummy? How about love the tummy?
No, because that could be
You
anybody's.
could right. Would that include yours?
How about loveyourowntummy.com? It's a little more wordy, but I think it's more
How
accurate.
about love your own tummy and not someone else's.com?
How about she's got a hot belly?
That works too.
Okay, anyways, lovemytummy.com. It really is about digestive health. This is the new frontier of health.
Yes, it is.
In the next couple of years, you're going to see that this is the main focus. Doctors are already realizing this. We've told you about this for a couple of years. There's a sugar component tied into it. Sugar feeds all of the good and bad bacteria in your gut, and that digestive health is the key. So if you're eating sugar, it's going to do a lot of bad for you, but it could also feed that bad bacteria. You need a certain amount of bacteria. There's good and bad bacteria in your gut.
You're saying that Americans in general have a problem with sugar? I mean, going by the store down here that's called
Sugar. And the one next to it called Lick.
Yeah.
Although I'm not
Oh, is
sure
that sugar?
I don't. Maybe
Oh,
not.
I didn't
may
think
be
that was the
confused by
same
that.
thing.
Lovemytummy.com. Check it out today. If you go there, you buy the product. It's likely going to help you deal with digestive health issues. Going to put you on the right track. Find out all the details. Find out the science behind it, because Brad is too stupid to explain the science. He doesn't really even understand it himself.
No. I don't want to know how it works. I don't.
So
I'm at the point in
how do
my
you
life I
promote it
don't
then?
care. If I swallow it and it works, that's all I need. That's all I need to know. And do you really want to know how it works?
I do.
Or do you want to feel better? What do you want to do? You want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Oh, my gosh. I am going to bludgeon you if you pull that out.
You want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Okay. There is a small portion of the audience that knows where that term comes from. You learn that term. You hear that exclusively in therapy when it has to deal with your relationships.
Yes.
But you don't understand. She does this. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? I want to be both.
No.
That's it.
No.
That's
You
a distinct impossibility
no.
right there.
Here's the thing. I don't want to be right. I am right. I want her to realize it so we can be happy.
What I hear you saying is you want to be happy and right. Is that what? Am I correct in hearing what you are saying?
I'm saying I am right. You're admitting I'm right, which is infuriating that you're telling me just be wrong so you could be happy.
Cheap, fast, good. Pick two.
Pick two. That's it.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'll pick two.
All right.
Happy and right.
No, those weren't part of the choices.
You're telling me I can pick one?
You can pick one
You
of those.
told me three.
Cheap, fast,
Two
good.
of the three.
Two of the three. Cheap, fast, good. One of the two, right, happy. Sorry, I didn't write the rules. I just follow them.
See,
sometimes
those things are not opposites.
No, absolutely not. Occasionally you find a unicorn and you're right and you're happy.
No,
but
you
not
could
very
say,
often.
You could say you've got to choose left or right, black and white, up, down, good, whatever it is. I
No.
get that.
Right, happy, or not dead.
But this is like saying
Choose two.
No,
No, choose one.
no. This is like saying choose one in your marriage. Here it is. You get one or two: Buick LeSabre or Clams Rockefeller.
No, now you're comparing apples and donuts.
That's the point.
No, that
Those
is
things-
not the same thing.
Those things are not mutually exclusive. When they say that, if I go, look at this, here's how I'm right, and the therapist has
right.
nowhere else to go, that's when they say this.
Okay.
Because they know this is what they're thinking in their head. Boy, she is effed up. He is absolutely right. That's insane. So what am I going to come up with? I can't tell him he's right because she'll want to, and I'm really, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? What they're saying is you are right, and she's driving you nuts because she knows you're right, but you've got to just ignore the fact that you're right.
So again, I ask you, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
I am right, and I would be
You're
happy.
not happy, though.
No.
You're not happy.
I would be
You're
happy,
not happy.
if everybody else would realize I'm
So,
right.
okay, so go ahead. You be right, but you're not happy. You want to be happy, you want to be right.
So you want me to solve the problem about
Pick
being
one.
happy?
No, I don't want you to solve it. I just want you to understand you can only have one.
You know what? screw the therapist.
That's what got you in trouble in the first place.
I don't want to be right. I am right. So here it is. If they change the want part, I'll choose right. Do you want to be right or happy? No, I am right. If they said, do you want to continue to be right or do you want to be happy?
I'm going to quote the great theologian.
You're not helping so far.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
You're losing this argument.
When I say, do you want to be factually right or morally right? And if you're morally right, then you can be happy.
I'm right on both of those.
So you're morally right.
And factually right.
Then you're not happy.
I could be happy.
No.
If you would just realize that.
Of those three, you can pick two, one of which is not happy.
Oh, yeah, I'm right. Just admit it. Admit I'm right.
That's right. And that's where it all goes off the rails, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Boy, do you hate it when you're in a corner.
I'm not in a corner.
It's obvious.
It's obvious. You're gaslighting me on this thing. You're completely gaslighting me on this. That's what they should say. That's what the therapist is saying.
Caught me a marlin. He's a fighter.
The therapist should say that.
I'm going to need the seatbelt. Buckle me in. Don't let go of the pole.
Do you want them to continue gaslighting you so you can live in a fantasy world and pretend you're happy?
Yes!
Ignoring your basic instincts of right versus wrong.
I would love to be in a fantasy world just thinking I'm happy and being happy, knowing I'm happy.
Or perhaps the world could just be held accountable.
That's such a cute outlook.
Okay.
That is precious. That is precious. You are just adorbs.
I'll pick you up, put you on my lap. I'll pet you.
Take you home, bathe you. You and your monkey.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, here it comes.
We didn't tell you what happened last night.
Oh.
You didn't tell me what happened?
No.
I was with you most of the night.
No,
Afterwards.
Uh-oh.
So
I saw you sitting in a big old shoe.
Oh, no.
That's a different story.
Oh, that's nothing.
Okay, so a couple of days ago, we're walking through SHOT Show here in Vegas, at Sands Expo Center, and there's even pictures, photographic evidence of a midget wearing a bow tie on a scooter.
Yes.
And it was so good.
Only in
It
Vegas.
was so wonderful.
You don't see that in downtown Des Moines.
No.
Ever.
And I was mentioning on the air yesterday, I think it was, I was like, if only he had a monkey with him. And
Or a juggling bear that walked upright.
That's right.
Brad showed me a video about a month ago that someone took in their backyard of a bear walking upright. I don't mean for a second. I mean, he just motored to the backyard, and then he goes around the house. It was awesome.
A lot of people say that's what Bigfoot is. Bears
Maybe.
walking upright.
Could be.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is we combine a couple of these things, and you know what, Brad? I'll be with you. I don't want to be right. If I could see juggling bears and midgets with monkeys every day of my life, I'd be fine with that. That's good, right?
That's funny.
And it is so good. So then, yesterday, again, we see the midget, and then we're at wherever it was.
Cosmo.
No, before that.
Oh.
No, before that. A sign
Oh, yeah, for O'Shea's.
of O'Shea's, and the advertisement is a little person. A
Little
little person. I think it was a leprechaun.
Wee Man. It looked like Wee Man.
Right. And I was like, this is great. So we go
Never
and look.
seen Doc gets more excited
Oh, it
about
was so good.
small people.
You and
So
Linda
good.
Lyday.
So we go to dinner. We find the secret pizza. That's a whole other thing. On the way back, we cross the
That
street
is
from
not
the
a
Cosmo.
euphemism, by
That's
the way.
right. We did find
Right.
Yeah.
And as we crossed a little over the Las Vegas, the Strip Bridge, and me, Brad, Tom was right
was,
there, and
yeah.
a couple of other people, but they were up ahead of us. And we passed one of those guys handing out the little flyers for naked women.
The showgirls.
And then some others are like, here's free tickets to whatever to get you into the shows.
Yep.
And right as we passed this one guy, he's handing out tickets to some strip club.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you got a strip club here, whatever. Right as we pass by, right next to him, perfect earshot in our right ears, we hear him go, we got midgets.
Did you turn around?
As God is my witness, that's what he said.
I thought
And-
he had whiplash. He turned around so fast.
Me, Brad, Tom stopped. We're all like, oh my God, did he say midgets? And I went back and I go, did you say midgets? That's right, we got midgets.
Please tell me you said midget.
Do I have the card with me? Oh, I think I left it at a hotel room. Do you still have it, Brad?
I will
That's
check here.
funny.
Right. So I say to him, and I go,
I'm not sure if
Oh my
if in
God.
my collection.
you might
I
not
have
want those
the-
on camera. I don't know.
you can't see them that way. They're
Brad,
all
It's a bigger card. It would
It's
be a bigger one. Let me
a
show you. I can find the
huge-
midget card. I don't think you have it here.
which is ironic that it would be the larger card in the stack.
Yeah, you don't have
Just
it here.
saying. You don't
Yeah.
know that.
No, you don't. I can
Brad, what
tell.
would you say if you just had to say there's a number of cards here?
173. Not that I counted. I may
Yeah.
be starting a collection.
Oh,
I may not.
my
I
God.
may be making a collage.
There it is.
If it's
Told
anyone's
you I
business.
could find it.
Wow, you did.
Sapphire, world's largest gentleman's club. All right.
Well, there's some irony there too.
Right. Anyway, so that's the one that he said they had midgets, right? And I go, oh my gosh, did you say you have midgets? He goes, they're half off. Zing.
Zing.
And I said, ready? He goes, I go, do they have monkeys? And he goes, I don't know, man. I'm just out here. I'm just handing out cards, but I know they're half off, and I know they are smoking little midgets. And he started going to the sale, and I was like, but I really need to know if there's monkeys, because that's the deciding factor. He goes, there may be monkeys. This guy, there's no monkeys there.
You don't know that. There might be monkeys.
You
there.
got to
He-
come see for yourself.
He
No.
may not have known either.
No. If there were monkeys, he would know there's
would know,
monkeys.
that's
What, you think you just don't know there's
You know what
monkeys
he was
there?
thinking at that point? What are you, some sort of freak?
Of course he was.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
There may be monkeys there.
There might be.
May
There
I
might-
see the sapphire card when
No.
you're finished with it?
I don't know if I'll ever be finished with it.
For a price.
Right. Now, here's what it says. It says free limo,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
no cover charge, Rob.
No cover
They'll
charge.
just limo you over there. 2-drink minimum. That's cool, right? Mm-hmm. That right?
Uh-huh.
They're giving you a limo across
Yes.
town. How much are the Ubers here, even?
Oh,
30
they're
bucks?
expensive. Oh, yeah. Across,
Right. And the
all the
cabs
way
are-
across town?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you think they're going to give you a free limo that would normally be $30 and there's no cover charge without them making up their money somehow? They're not just banking on you possibly giving the girls some squat dollars. No.
So it's not a $7 drink when you get there, is what you're
No,
suggesting.
it's not a $7 drink.
It's not a $10 drink. Is
They're,
what
they're
you're
not a
suggesting.
$10 drink on the strip.
No,
you get a
there's not.
Bud Light for $14 on the strip. What do you think those drinks?
Oh, those
no,
are $35 drinks.
absolutely. You
Yeah.
are not getting out for less than $100.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. They got you roped
But
in.
there's midgets.
See?
Look, that
And
might be worth
that's-
it, Doc.
Think so?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think
Look,
we
what
didn't get
is
back
that?
until 3?
That's a midget butt.
No, it's not.
Brad.
Yes, that's a midget butt. It's hot.
Okay, yeah, no, you're
It's
right.
hot, yeah, see?
You're right. That's, God, dog.
Yes. That is what that is right there.
What, do you think you're better than me?
Joey Bag of Donuts, what's wrong with you?
Better than me?
What do you think? You're better than me?
But on the other side, it's his Larry Flint's Hustler Club.
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
Have they got the tender buck hooked up to him too?
Wait, what was that a picture of?
Of the club, I think.
No, right here. What is that?
It's just a little character.
Oh, okay. It's not a monkey.
No,
No,
it's a beaver.
but you were
It's
close.
a beaver. Holy
a
crap,
beaver.
it's a beaver. It's a beaver smoking a cigar.
What's
Brad, that stack of cards you got. What the hell?
Yeah, bad.
I-
Okay, so
I happen to have a hobby.
It's funny though because when we're all walking with you,
Uh-huh.
they're slapping them card decks, pow,
Oh,
pow,
yeah.
handing them out to you,
And
pow.
they're giving you these cards.
So,
So-
we take them and hand them to Brad.
oh yeah. So well, here's the thing that's going on. I lived in Vegas in the '90s or whatever, and Vegas always had that Vegas thing going. And at times there's parts of it that are more expensive, but I really dislike Vegas now. It's expensive. It's just awful now. When you're on the strip,
it's just it's different
no, it's awful. Everything's
compared to
expensive
what it was.
now.
Yes.
I just
yeah,
got an
it's just-
idea.
Yeah.
So we get a bunch of our MoJo 50 cards, right?
Yes.
And you guys stand on the corner and go, sexual chocolate, sexual chocolate. And just hand them
I'm
a
in.
MoJo card.
I'm in.
I was actually kind of doing that already.
Oh,
Let me
sweet.
was.
So here's what's going on. So you walk down, and they always handed you those cards, even
Yeah.
back in the day. But now there's even more people handing those cards. You can't avoid
And they're
it.
wearing these tall
They're-
signs.
well, it's like Times Square, where take a picture with Mickey Mouse or a chick that's half naked or whatever, and they got all the old style looking showgirls.
Yep.
And there's just every 10 feet there's another 4 of them. I mean, it's just obnoxious now. It's horrible, but you can't avoid them, right? And they just keep coming up to you, and I just get tired of them going, take a picture with me. And if you've got your name badge on, they're like, Brad, take a picture. And
How
you're
does
like,
she
"Who?"
know my name?
Right. So finally they start annoying me. And the other part that pisses me off is if you go up, and you got to know this if you've not been to Vegas or Times Square, they even do this out in front of the Coliseum in Rome. They stand there in outfit, and you go up and they go, hey, you want a picture? And you're like, hey, it's kind of touristy and showgirl in Vegas. And as soon as you take that picture, they go, that's $60 or $50 or whatever.
Right.
Most people will not challenge them and say, well, fine, here you go, I'll delete the picture or whatever. No. They say, oh, too bad. And what are they going to do? Call the cops? Oh, damn straight they do. And most people do it. So there's a bit of a scam going on that I hated as well, right? And they just keep pushing. What do you think? They're out there for free? They're taking your money, right?
Yep.
So I hate that as well. So they start saying that, how about a picture? And I'm like, sure, $20. You want a picture with me? $20. Oh, they do not like that.
They don't seem to have the sense of humor that you would expect.
They're like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you want a picture with me? What, you think I want the one with you? So I keep looking up like the best responses. And then I came up with this one. How about this? And you go up to them and you're like, nah, I'm looking for somebody hotter.
I'm sure that goes over.
They do not like that as well.
Strangely, they don't.
And the little guys handing out the cards, I started handing them MoJo and Spoonie cards.
That goes over well as well.
They do not. And they're like, what are you giving me a card for? And now you're giving me one? They don't like that.
No.
So then ultimately we settled on this for the guys giving the cards. You take the cards and then you look at them and you go, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Seriously, thank
you.
you.
And you maybe grab them by the shoulders and go, hey, thank you. Thank you for those. Like, too excited to have the cards. Too over the top, thinky, creepy. They get really uncomfortable. So last night, Brad says to him, he goes, oh, thank you. How much are these? And the guy goes, depends on what you want. And Brad goes, no, the cards, how much? And he goes, oh, those are free. And he goes, can I get some more of them? How much for all of them? Which are all duplicates. And the guy started getting creeped out. He goes, I'm going to need more for Steve. Steve's going to need some too.
Steven's going to need more. Yeah, they don't like
it.
So
I think Matt's the one that told me, he's like, I asked him for more cards, and they said, cool, take them all, because I get to go home when I passed them all out.
They're shirking their responsibility.
What
kind of people are these?
If you can't trust a guy handing out pornographic advertisements on the strip in Las
That's
Vegas,
what it is.
To be honest.
What is coming to this country?
You can't trust anybody now,
no
right?
kidding. I don't want to live in a country where they do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just awful now. I mean, it's not even the whole sexual nature of that and the gut. It's just you can't get away from the nonsense now. You used to be able to get a cheap drink, play a couple rounds of cards or something.
How do you afford to do anything in this town if you brought a date here?
Oh, you can't.
Holy cannoli! You'd be
Listen
spending your mortgage
Did we talk about the pizza? We got four pieces of pizza the other day at the Venetian. It was $45.
Yeah, it was.
$45. 2 12-ounce beers, maybe 15-ounce beers last night.
Yeah.
$19.49. I let him keep the change. Here's your 50-cent tip. You think I'm paying 20 up yours?
How much are 2 beers? $20, same as Vegas.
Jeez.
Same as Vegas.
It's insane.
I just don't. I don't know what the attraction is anymore. Everything's expensive. It's not fun. It's not old Vegas. I was even fine with some of the carnival atmosphere in the past, but this is just.
We're going downtown tonight. And we're going to Fremont Street.
Oh,
too.
good. Okay, that cleans it up there a little bit. All right, Friday Leftovers coming up about a half hour from right now. You got your headlines with Brad Staggs coming up next on this, your Daily Mojo, live from Vegas.
Back and forth.
If we weren't so bad,
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty.
we wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50. The mothership has landed.
Live from SHOT Show Vegas, it's Sands Expo Center. Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, and the whole crew.
Would you like some mustard?
I don't know what his name is, so I'm just going to call
That's
him
me.
Ron.
I'm
That's
the whole
Ron
crew.
over there.
You know, here's, I think in the future, as we go on remote
Yeah.
and stuff like this, broadcast other
Yeah.
places, because we're obviously not taking our usual,
No,
the whole
he's-
crew from
he's-
home.
no, he's
we
from-
hire local talent, is what I'm
from home.
assuming. We need
He's
to
from-
have, like, learn more about him and stuff.
He's from home. He's wearing a name tag, so just so you know, he's right there.
Okay, good.
Ron
Keep that
Phillips.
right here so I can take a look at that. Well, I mean, the thing is, what am I going to learn somebody's name when I only work with them a couple of days?
He's been here for a long time. We've been over this.
And what's his name?
Ron.
Ron.
Yes, it's
Ron
Phillips.
Phillips. Okay,
Ron
good.
Phillips.
I think I can remember that. All right, very good.
Ron Phillips.
Whoops, that's not
Uh,
the
you-
one.
Hold
Let's
on.
do that.
We've scoured
There
news
it is.
platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
All right, Jack Holes. First part of your headlines this morning from SHOT Show. The Exxon Valdez of toxic masculinity made possible by Riduzone. Don't want to be fat? Try Riduzone Stat. Huh?
Okay.
Huh?
I saw what you did there.
That rhymed. Yeah.
I'm sure the folks at Ridgew's Zone love it.
They
That's right.
Appreciated it.
Topping the headlines this morning, Roger Stone, longtime Trump friend, has been indicted by special counsel Robert Mueller. Is it Mueller or Mueller? I don't care.
Mueller.
President Trump's longtime friend, veteran political operative Roger Stone, has been indicted on 7 counts, including 1 count of obstruction of an official proceeding. It's a biggie. 5 counts of false statements and 1 count of witness tampering in special counsel Mueller's probe into possible collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign during the 2016 presidential election, and 6 counts of just being douchey. Stone was arrested and is expected in court today. The indictment was filed yesterday.
Wow. So annoying.
Which part?
The whole thing. This whole spectacle.
Shall I move on? I'll just move
Yeah.
on. An
By the way, Matlock will likely have more on this coming up on his
Yes.
broadcast as well.
Yes, he will.
It's difficult for me to even follow all of that because it is such horse crap.
Yes.
The whole thing from start to finish. As I've said, investigate. Absolutely investigate each and every politician, anybody we elect for any type of corruption. If there's nothing there, move on. They have not moved on, even though there's nothing there. Meanwhile, of course, in the past, they've not done their due diligence on other people.
Seems about right. On the other side of the world, an Australian woman was bitten by a snake in the toilet.
No.
Yes, an Australian woman jumped off her seat.
It's difficult for me to even talk about this. As I've said, investigate things, and if there's nothing there, just move on. Let's just
After
move
being
on.
bit by a snake on the toilet. The reptile handler has reported Helen Richards, 59-year-old woman, received
Bitten. Let's move
the
on.
non-venomous bite in the dark at a relative's house in Brisbane on Tuesday. She received minor puncture wounds
That sounds horrible. Let's just move on.
from a carpet python.
Oh.
A carpet python.
A carpet.
Where was she bitten?
She was bitten while she was on the toilet.
Let's
And
just
it's
move
what
on.
type of python?
A carpet python.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, write your own joke.
Ms. Richards told local media she felt a sharp tap. I
Come on.
jumped up with my pants down.
It was like, excuse me.
Please, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm in it. Just passing through. Can you move over just a little bit?
Jumped up with my pants down, turned around to see what looked like a long-necked turtle receding back into the bowl.
Come on.
She was treated
Yeah,
for.
hold on. Sorry, folks. Sorry.
She was.
I'm late on the bells there.
She was treated for minor bite marks with an antiseptic, and
Wow.
they describe carpet pythons as relatively harmless,
Except if you're on the toilet
unless,
and you block their path.
unless you. Yes, that's exactly what happened. She
You know what is?
apparently blocked his exit
He was
point.
just being vindictive.
He was.
You know what? Seriously, think about that,
That's
right?
right.
Because he just went back in.
That's right. He was just like, get off.
And
out of-
at this point, he could have gotten off gotten out, right? Because she jumped up.
Yes.
So he was likely made the decision.
Right.
Hey, she's going to sit there anyway.
Yes.
I got to find another path.
Yes.
So on his way out, he's just like, I'm just going to go ahead and give her a little what for.
Yes. He showed her what for.
What? See, this
Yeah.
is the problem.
That's a problem with carpet
Snakes
pythons.
are assholes.
Yeah,
I've told you, they're evil
carpet
and
pythons.
assholes. We know that.
Florida Secretary of State has resigned after photos have emerged of him in blackface at a 2005 Halloween party where he dressed like a Mammy character to mock Hurricane Katrina victims. You
Wait
cannot,
a minute.
Wait, he was mocking them?
You can't do that. Michael Ertl submitted his resignation yesterday after photos of him at the 2005 party. He was dressed as a highly offensive Mammy character, blackface, red lipstick, and a New Orleans Saints bandana. He also had a shirt that read, many asked why they thought he was a Katrina victim.
Right.
He had a shirt upon which was written, Katrina victim.
Well, that doesn't leave a whole lot of.
No, he.
What was his job again?
He was the Secretary of State.
That's. All right, and what year was that?
That was yesterday. Oh, the party was 2005. That was
So that
14
was
years
a
ago.
year, not even a year after the. Ooh.
Yeah, too soon.
Listen, I don't know why people are so caught up in the whole blackface, whatever. I mean, I know the history of it, but let's just move on. It's not a big deal. If it's inappropriate, just roll your eyes and walk past people. I'm more troubled by the fact that he would mock people that were victims. It doesn't
Right.
matter black or white or whatever, playing into the stereotype
Right.
of people that were victims of a tragedy like that, and certainly so quickly.
Yes.
I mean, listen, you want to crack a
Look.
joke, or two about the Titanic,
Right.
you know.
They're all dead. They can't hear you
It's
anyway.
a long time ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But certainly right then, it seems a little inappropriate.
What is the requisite period of time that should go by before you can make a joke about a disaster victim?
I'm glad you asked that, and I'm trying to remember what is the soonest I've made a joke to set the standard at that, so I don't get hoisted by my own rules. I'll get back to you on that.
In happier news, well, this is kind of a mixed bag. A bald hedgehog has daily massages after stress made him lose his spikes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Sweet little bear.
He was under that much stress.
He looks a little different than your average hedgehog. He doesn't have any prickly spines. Stress caused him to lose all of his spines. He was brought into the Wildlife Rescue Center in Shropshire, where by a person who had no idea what a hedgehog actually was because, yes.
Question?
Yes.
Question.
Yeah, you in the corner. Yeah.
What kind of stress
I'm
does
sorry,
a
we're gonna-
hedgehog
Where are you
have?
from, sir? Where are you from?
MoJo 50 Radio,
Oh,
Ron
thank,
Phillips.
Thank you, thank you.
What kind of stress does a hedgehog have that
Wow.
he loses his
How
spikes?
insulting.
Wow.
How insulting.
How can you even ask that question?
What in the hell?
That sounds
What
like
is-
hedgehog shaming to
Why
me.
don't you just go ahead and mock Katrina victims? Good grief. What is wrong with you, sir? The care comes in the daily massages. He gets aloe vera rubbed into his skin and a weekly bath with special antibacterial shampoo.
I'm just going to pick you up,
Good
little
love
hedgehog,
you.
and put you on my
Love
lap and rub your quills.
Love you.
I'm feeling a little bit stressed right now, Brad.
Are
You
you?
busy?
You got the aloe vera and $20? We'll talk. We mentioned the 10-year challenge yesterday or the day before. And yes, they've already come out in why taking part in the 10-year challenge could be bad for your mental health.
I think that was pretty obvious, actually.
Why?
I mean,
It's just you're just comparing a picture
No, for
of
most people, I'm saying it would be. Not for me. I mean, I'm.
a picture
what do
of
mean?
you from 10 years ago next to a current
By
picture
the way,
of yourself.
why are they calling it a challenge? What's the point? How
Well-
do I win?
How do you win the cinnamon challenge? How'd you win the Tide Pod challenge?
You win the cinnamon challenge by not being able to swallow the stuff without choking, which no one can do.
Is that really the where you show me where that was written down?
What do you mean? Of course it was.
How do you know?
The challenge is not just hurt yourself.
Bird Box challenge. Hello.
They're seeing if they can accomplish it.
Which of course they can't. Which means they're
No,
going to hurt
some people
themselves.
can. Blind people do it.
That's not the challenge. That was the cards they were dealt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So blind people, you can do some things blindfolded.
But yes,
Could you blindfold yourself and just walk down the hall here?
if you take everything out of the way.
Okay, well, see, you could do it. Some of the stuff is possible. So how do I win this? How do I succeed
How do you succeed in
If I still look
just
good?
by doing it?
if there hasn't been a lot of change?
If there hadn't been a lot of change. I mean, think about it. It's stress and unfortunate circumstances that usually age you. You haven't gone through any of that in the past 10 years, so
No.
shut up. By the way, Haley Smith was a 30-year-old PR executive. She took a 2-month break from social media because of the 10-year challenge. It messed her up so badly.
She must look horrible.
She
Wow.
experienced a series of events filled with neglect, loneliness, abuse, mental breakdown, suicidal thoughts, toxic relationships. Basically, she just remembered her life over the past 10 years. And
Yeah.
yes. So, by
she
the way,
posted her own pics.
yes.
And got
By the way, yes. This is also a reminder: don't look through old scrapbooks either if you don't want any of these things to happen to
Wow.
you. Why do we bother taking pictures of ourselves if we are going to be stressed out by them? What she needs is an emotional support alligator.
Nope.
In Pennsylvania, a man there says his emotional support alligator helps him deal with his depression. Joey Henney, some Joey bag of donuts there, said his registered emotional support animal named Wally likes to snuggle and give hugs despite being a 5-foot alligator. We will soon be reporting on the contents of Wally's stomach being his former owner. I'm sure that is coming in headlines probably in the very near future because it is, after all, an alligator. They really, in the end, do not make good emotional support animals. He hosted a show, by the way, on ESPN called the Joey Henney Outdoor
Who did?
show. Joey Henney.
He hosted the Joey Henney
Yes,
show?
he hosted it, which was, rather appropriate. It was on for 11 years,
Seems
apparently.
like unnecessary that you would bring that up. There's a good
well,
assumption there.
He's just like a dog, according to Henney. This is what he
Who is?
told the alligator.
Oh,
Would you?
do they snuggle?
Have you been listening?
they give hugs.
Have
He
you
gives
not?
hugs.
Did you not hear the part where he loves to snuggle and give hugs?
Okay.
Let's just move on. Coca-Cola has pulled out of the Super Bowl.
What?
Really?
Frustrated Super Bowl, not available for comment. They will not be running ads in this year's Super Bowl, which breaks a string of 11 consecutive years in which the brand has purchased ad time during the big game. It will be, by the way, on February
Why are they
3rd.
pulling out?
They will run a commercial just before the game's opening kickoff, but will be absent from the game itself. Here's the thing. They are saying we have a long history of using the country's biggest advertising stage to share a message of unity and positivity, especially at times when our nation feels divided. This year, we decided to place our ad just before the national anthem as Americans come together in their living rooms to remind everyone that together is beautiful.
So they don't have the advertising budget this year.
Yes. Variety is notes CBS asking $5.1 million between that and $5.3 million for commercial packages airing in the game itself. I would imagine that, in fact, Coca-Cola saved a great deal of money by running an ad prior to said game.
How long were they there? Did they advertise? How many years?
11 years. Yes, they certainly did. Any other questions? Scientists have discovered the secret behind why some people are skinny while others pile on the pounds so easily.
Overeating?
Genes. Genes.
Like
My jeans
like
are too
Levi's or
No, the other
Yeah.
genes.
like
Genes.
Gloria Jean?
Nope, the other genes.
Jeannie
The other,
Redgrave?
the other genes, as in genetics.
Pork?
Genetics.
Oh,
Yes.
genetics.
Some
Why didn't
people,
you say genetics?
because I wanted to hear you try to guess.
Okay.
Some people being thin has more to do with being or inheriting a lucky set of genes than having the perfect diet or lifestyle. Yes, in fact, my friends, the deck could be stacked against you. It could indeed be.
How is your deck?
My deck
Stacked against me?
My deck
Is
was
it?
stacked against me. I have my mother's thighs.
Wow, that's a shame.
Yes, it really is. Which I,
It's just a shame for people that have to suffer with those bad genes.
Right?
That you're just destined to a life of fatness.
Well,
just
here's the
sad.
thing. Here's the point. You don't, when you know you have the deck stacked against you, you need, in fact, every tool that you can get your hands on
When the deck is stacked against
when the
you?
deck is stacked against you. So like Riduzone. Riduzone is a tool.
I have no idea what that is.
Riduzone, you see, is a tool that you can, it is a small pill. A blue pill or a red pill, Neo?
So it's like some medication.
Which would
I
you
don't know about
prefer?
medication, man. Most
Well,
people don't wanna
here's
take
the thing.
medications.
It
Like
actually
big
is
pharma.
No. It's based on a little molecule. It's actually produced in your body already. It's called OEA.
Then what do I need? What do I need Riduzone for? I'm making it myself.
No, you see, you don't eat the right foods. You don't have the combination of foods that can actually help your body produce this. So what OEA does, what the Riduzone does, is it increases the OEA molecule in your system, which, by the way, is also found in the Mediterranean diet.
Oh, so I can just chug a bunch of olive oil. That's fine.
Well, you
How
could.
much do I have to drink?
You
to,
could,
get
but
it?
I think it's like a
cup of
gallon.
it?
It's like a gallon a day.
Seems like a lot.
It would be a lot, or you can take a very small capsule every day, and it can actually help you make you feel full and stop your sport eating.
You know what I just thought of? I can just take a Riduzone pill.
That's brilliant.
What am I making this stuff for myself for?
I don't know.
I just take Riduzone.
Right. I think that is
Here
probably.
I am making my own OEA like an idiot.
Right.
I can just take Riduzone, get somebody else to do it for me.
If you just did that, life would be so much simpler. If you go to riduzone.com, you will find exactly what this does and how it can help you, and how it can, in fact, if you are in that class of people with the genes stacked against you, you can actually have a tool.
And
that
here's
could help
my
you lose weight.
suggestion. Let's say you're one of those people where it's stacked against you,
Uh-huh.
the bad genes. You buy Riduzone, which is really inexpensive given what it does for you. And you find
Yes, it
all of
is.
the information at riduzone.com. But here's what you do. You don't pay for it yourself.
Who do you get to pay for it?
Your ancestors, your mom, your dad.
Ooh,
Who gave you the bad
that's
genes?
right.
Did
It's
you
their
give yourself the bad
it's
genes?
their fault to begin with.
Right.
You're absolutely right. I can't argue
Get
with you. on that.
Riduzone and then just bill mom and dad.
Okay. Right now, are you happy?
I am happy.
This is one instance of when you were right and you were happy. Enjoy it, because they don't come along often, my friend.
See,
They
if everyone
don't-
else would just realize
They
that I'm
don't
right.
come along often. A pair of runaway emus has been captured in coastal Texas. Police in Galveston. Yes, I know. It's a happy story. Runaway emus. They were on the land.
Like the large flightless birds?
Yes, the large flightless. You know, some people think they can fly.
They can't
They
fly.
can't fly. Emus, however, aren't permitted in Galveston.
Then
These
why
were
they
illegal
there?
emus. Yes.
Build
yes.
the wall.
Yes.
Build the wall.
Yes.
Where were they? Did they cross the border?
They may have.
No, you know
They
what it
may
is?
have.
The wall's not going to help them anyway.
They can't hop over it. They don't fly.
No, what I'm
Right.
saying is they probably didn't even cross the border. They
Okay.
probably just overstayed their visa.
See, that's why you get the big bucks.
Did somebody bring them there?
No, actually, the owner's mother had passed away. She owned them, and he had no place to take the lonely emus, so he brought them home.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yes.
Somebody else. His mom.
Somebody else,
illegally had the emus there.
Well, apparently she wasn't. She wasn't from Galveston. She was from some place where emus are legal.
She's a coyote.
Well, it's possible.
She's a coyote.
It's possible that she
And
was.
those emus are dreamers.
It's possible that, metaphorically speaking, it could be. Yeah,
What became of the emus?
they were shot and eaten.
Were they really shot?
No, they've
Damn
been.
it. I was so excited. Dude, I was like this. I was like, oh. If it ends with a midget, it'll be the perfect story.
Midgets are not racing birds.
No, but I saw one racing a camel.
Do not Google 4 midgets and a camel. Do not Google
No,
it.
it was a midget. It was a camel midget race.
I just said don't Google 4 midgets and a camel. I didn't say what it was.
God,
Yeah,
dog.
that could be something else.
It's but yes, if you
There is a video of a relay race of midgets racing a camel.
don't tell them a one.
I'm not.
Don't spoil the surprise.
No, I'm still taking bets.
Look, they did it. It was funny. I have to admit.
What? No, what?
Why would
It was funny.
Oh, you think sports is funny?
Wow.
This is a test of endurance.
Wow.
This is man versus nature, Ron. This is serious business.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Is this a good time for me to pass along the safety information of women who have been dangerously putting parsley in their vaginas?
Putting what?
Parsley.
Oh, I thought you said partially.
No. Parsley.
It's only
Parsley.
partially, Ron.
It's only partially parsley. What the hell?
Herbs,
Okay.
vegetables, and parsley should not be placed inside your vaginal orifice.
This safety tip brought to you by.
It's
Wait, okay.
A midget
so,
on a scooter
Yeah.
with a monkey.
right. Yes, it's
So they've been putting parsley in
Yes.
in that. Idiots, morons. You don't put parsley in there. Cilantro. Cilantro's the way to go. It's all about cilantro.
Apparently, Marie Claire published an article on how to bring on your period that contained a concerning herb-based recommendation. They have since deleted said post.
Wait. Why to bring it on?
Yes.
Why do you want to bring it on?
I don't know.
To throw off the schedule?
Do you think why would I know this? Parsley can help to soften the cervix and level out hormonal imbalances.
Is what she wrote.
This, according to Marie Claire.
Marie Callender's?
Marie Claire, not the
that's
pie
very
place.
different. We understand my confusion.
It's
What with
yes,
the
I
cilantro
can.
and
Right,
parsley
the pie,
talk.
right?
Okay, so hang on. I've got to go back. So I'm guessing that it's I'm going to go on vacation on the 1st.
I may want to wear white pants and ride a horse on the beach.
And hook up with Steve, and
Right.
I want to get certain things taken care of.
Right.
Therefore, it'd be great if a week before
Yes.
then that I go ahead and
Yes.
whatever. So
Planning,
I'll
pre-planning.
use the parsley around the 20th and get this thing
Correct.
all done over. Was
Yes.
that the idea?
I believe so. It
How
may
does
have
that
been.
work?
Well, apparently the parsley, according again to Marie Claire, helped soften the cervix and level out hormonal imbalances that could be delaying your cycle, helping your period come faster.
But it doesn't actually
No,
work.
it does not actually work. So please, ladies.
Is it because there were not 6 other herbs and spices included with it? Is that
Apparently, and yes, I'll just leave it right there.
right where?
I will leave it right there. And
But so just to clarify,
just to clarify,
in summation,
in
in summary,
please
do not do that.
do not
because
do
it
that.
will not help.
No, it will not help.
Is there anything that will help?
I'd like to talk about guns right now.
Okay.
I'd like to talk about guns.
Well, we're at SHOT Show.
It's a you know what? It's a great place to talk about guns. We had Kurt here was yesterday. Was that yesterday? Kurt was here from TRA.
Yeah.
And first of all, what a great concept he's got going at TRA, America's first virtual online gun store where you can see these guns in 360 degrees, so you can see if they have specks of dust on them. He said that's been one of their problems. Like, man, I can see where I didn't clean the gun all the way because there's like a speck of dust on it. But we have run into so many because Kurt also told us about his plans for opening up a brick and mortar. And
If he's half successful and does half a good job with the brick and mortars he's done with online.
well, the display techniques again in this state, dispensaries are legal. Marijuana is legal. The dispensaries have an incredible way of displaying things.
Looks beautiful.
They use high-tech display techniques and methods. I mean, some of them where you can take one of the products off the shelf and put it on a little scanner. It goes beep, and on the screen right above it, here's what this is. Here's what it does. It's it's like wine.
Mm-hmm.
You want a nice varietal. You want to have a nice, relaxing evening at home. But we suggested that he look at some of the ways that they've been displaying, and some of the products here at SHOT Show, like the dry steam cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible. I mean, the pistol packing mamas, gun toting mamas, gun toting mamas. I think they're going to hook up with Kurt, so he's going to have a lot of different things. Not just he's got other accessories as well at TRA Guns, but this has been a really good experience for Kurt and for us as well here at. What are you writing a letter to your mother, or what are you doing?
Just taking a couple notes. I'm going to send them to HR after the
tell
broadcast.
her I said hello.
I like to do a summary recap at the end of the show of what we did wrong and right. And there's a lot of things I list about you and things you've done wrong. So I just want to keep records.
I wouldn't want to ruin my perfect track record. TRAguns.com. It is Friday, January 25th.
Wait, what was that website again?
TRAguns.com.
Okay, good. I got that down.
Travis Richard Anderson.
Echo Tango.
Echo Tango Charlie.
Tango Romeo Alpha.
Foxtrot.
Tango
William
Romeo
Tell.
Alpha Guns.
That too. TRAguns.com. Friday, January 25th. Can you believe it? It's already almost the end of January 2019. Alicia Keys, 37 years old today. Virginia Woolf would be 136.
Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Right. And Sofia Conte is 17.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Grandpa, come on. Instagram, hello. More followers than you?
Well, that's not a hard bar to
Let's
overcome.
just move on. 1971, they were convicted.
1971.
1971 on this
Manson
day.
family.
You cheated.
I didn't cheat.
You cheated.
Rule 3, baby. Rule 3. 71.
1905, the world's largest what was found?
Ball of twine.
Wrong.
Located right outside of Des Moines,
Wrong.
Iowa.
Largest midget.
No.
Diamond. Largest diamond was found on this day in 1905.
A free exchange of ideas. MoJo 50. The Daily Mojo.
All right, get your communiques in via the social media platforms. You can use Twitter. Please use the hashtag What I Learned Today. Also, you can use the MeWe chat room, which gets a little bit edgy, but I would encourage you to use it regardless. And, of course, you can get them in on Facebook underneath the video as well. So share those communiques. Those are going to be especially important towards the end of the broadcast today as we lay out our Friday leftovers in just a couple of moments.
Yes.
We definitely need your help of what you've learned today.
Yes.
Is any like to share, or should we just move on?
Let me see here. Oh, a smirking duck brought up a good point. Was the largest diamond found in that free diamond field in Arkansas?
I'm guessing it probably was not.
Do you know somebody did recently find a diamond there?
They always recently do because I think they seed them, but that's just my speculation.
You know what will never happen if we go?
I will never. I've been
No.
there once, and I
Did not find.
You realize about 2 minutes in, digging in a big open field.
Yeah.
A bunch of other people. It's really hot and sweaty.
Crater of Diamonds Park, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
It's interesting, but I'd leave it right there. I'm really upset because we do not have American Pride Roasters coffee. That's the one fail. We got to start packing that when we travel. We got to get that done.
I agree. Well, we need to bring a coffee maker too. I don't think they're coffee makers.
Beth came with us.
That's true. Sandwich and coffee maker.
Right.
That's a
What
good
I'm
point.
talking
Sorry,
about.
I stand corrected.
She just didn't bring the coffee.
Yeah, here's another example where you're right, but you're not happy.
Rule number 2.
Keep
There's
it
a
down.
Rule 2 violation there.
That is.
And by the way, your little happy or right thing is a Rule 2 violation, kind of a Rule 1 violation, definitely a Rule 5 violation.
Well, see, it's
Too many damn rules.
There's only
they're
5.
simple, and I think I can defend
Rule
against
1.
each.
Rule 1, don't be a jerk. Rule 1 violation.
It's
2,
not offensive if it's true.
yes, but you're
I like
outnumbered
that
3-4 to 1.
Sorry, no.
Rule number 2, keep the talent happy.
Well, in my
Rule number 3,
position
always
here, I
come
think
clean.
that
Always come clean. Rule number 4, it's not
okay.
offensive if it's true.
Right.
But rule number 5, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
See, I think what we have there is a one canceling the other out.
Okay, but I'm still up like 3-1 on you.
No.
The other ones are invoked.
No.
Which one
do you want to be
trade out
right
there?
or do you want to be happy?
Stab you in the
Huh?
jugular, I swear I am. American Pride Roasters, the official coffee of Mojo 50 and your daily Mojo. It is simply the best coffee out there. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. It is AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Is that me?
What are you looking for? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here.
I don't normally do that.
And now, Doc Thompson presents the Friday Leftovers.
These are the great stories we did not get to earlier in the week. So
Karma's a bitch.
we will get to them now. What do you mean karma? What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Who is she?
Police in Polk County. That's Polk County, Florida.
Ah.
Polk County, Florida say they arrested 3 suspects in a series of robberies. The final final robbery was when they walked into a Home Depot in Winter Haven in drag, including wigs, dresses, and open-toed shoes. These were men walking into the store like that.
It's a judgment-free zone. You can rob the place any way you like to.
Well, that's fine. They attempted to steal gift cards, which resulted in a physical confrontation with the store clerk.
They hit him with his purse?
No, it went down like this. The store clerk's like, yeah, you can't steal those.
Right,
Get back
right,
here,
right,
whatever. That's when these 3
Uh-huh.
seemingly ladies,
Right.
frail, fragile,
Right. Flowers.
shrinking violets,
Yes.
that were dressed in wigs,
Right.
and dresses, and open-toed shoes,
Uh-huh.
put her into a chokehold, and then went ahead and scanned and activated the gift cards on their own.
I was going to say, it doesn't do you any good to steal gift cards. You have to activate them.
Yeah.
But they thought ahead. Good for them.
Well, here's the problem.
Uh-huh.
Again, they were, in disguise. But it
Right.
throws off the disguise of you being women
Right.
if you act more like the men that you are,
Wow.
and then the whole thing is caught on camera.
Are you suggesting women cannot put men in a chokehold?
They can, but often when you're in a physical confrontation,
Right.
your wigs fall off as
Yes,
well.
they do.
And when you use the little computer to scan them yourselves,
Right.
that's leaving behind DNA and fingerprints.
Well, there is that problem. Yes, that would be a fail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which brings up pro criminal tip number 4389. When in disguise, stay in character.
I would verify that. Yes, I think that's very good advice.
I mean, you were in theater, right?
Yes, never break character. Never, ever break character.
And what happens if you do?
Oh, the world crumbles around
People
you.
know you're not that character.
Yes, they do.
Continuing now with a sad story. This is, yesterday, you guys, we had a sad story yesterday and it broke everybody down, and I didn't want to do this today.
Oh, man.
Certainly not during the leftovers, but we've got a sad story. So I would just caution you and guy to my left Ron to please treat this story with the respect that it deserves. The proper amount of respect.
I'm not going to like this.
A 25-year-old man in Punjab is dead.
Is that
That
Punjab?
Punjab.
Punjab.
Punjab, that's in
that-
India.
Oh, okay, a man in Punjab.
Yeah, a man in
All right.
Punjab is dead. He was mauled to death by lions.
That's horrible. That's awful.
Inside the Chattabir Zoo.
That's
Sure that's not pronounced right. He climbed over a 20-foot wall at the rear of the lion exhibit.
Oof. That shows some athletic ability.
Got inside, then climbed over another 5-foot chain link fence and jumped into the lion safari area
Aha.
and was quickly mauled to death by a couple of lions. I mean, who would have thought that?
I
Not him.
honestly, who sees that coming?
Right.
He didn't see it
Who
coming.
sees that coming? I mean, you're just there. You're at the zoo. You're enjoying the exhibits.
I'm going to climb over a 25-foot wall.
Right. I mean, he could have done that accidentally.
That's what I'm saying, right?
He could have accidentally scaled that wall.
He did not have a zoom lens for his camera.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Had to get closer.
How many times you been at
Right.
the zoo or an amusement park
Uh-huh.
and you end up down a little path and you're like, oh, crap, I got to go all the way back.
Right.
It's a dead end.
I don't want to go.
Why can't I just climb this wall?
Exactly.
So he scales the 25-foot wall, and then he
Yeah.
gets inside and it's like, oh, crap, there's another 5-foot chain link fence, and he jumps in there. And that's when a lioness immediately pounced on him.
Wow.
And
That's just
she
rude.
held him there, and that's when the male lion came over, and they both started chomping on him.
Aha.
And
Yeah.
he didn't die immediately. He
right.
died at the hospital. It's sad.
Well, it is sad.
There were plenty of eyewitnesses to explain what happened. because right as he jumped into the fence, over the fence, and they pounced on him, the Lion Safari bus that was taking visitors on guided tours through the jungle area happened on by.
Folks, off to the left of the bus. This doesn't happen often. You might want to get your cameras out.
What you're witnessing, folks, is a man being eaten by lions. You'll notice the lioness takes him down first and then offers up the meat to her male companion, the lion.
Is that Marlon Perkins?
You'll notice the screams of pain as they're chomping on the victim.
Sounds painful.
The way we understand it, it is quite painful when you get eaten by lions.
Right. Crikey.
Oh, Steve Irwin, he came out there.
Yeah, a little bit of that. The zoo pointed out, hey, this man was not a visitor to the zoo.
What? He wasn't a visitor to the zoo?
No, he was not a visitor to the zoo.
Did he work there?
No.
Well, if you're not a visitor and you don't work there, what are you?
He wasn't like a customer visiting. He was a trespasser.
Oh, he was trespassing.
That's right.
So he just didn't buy a ticket.
Right, he was not a zoo.
He still visited the zoo.
He is not a zoo visitor.
Was he visiting the zoo?
He was visiting the zoo, but he's
Thank
not
you.
a zoo visitor. And that's important to note.
Okay.
Because their visitors are respectful.
Right.
They wouldn't dare get eaten by lions.
Right. Visitors will not be eaten.
That's right.
However,
trespassers may, and that's an important distinction.
To the left side of the tram, you'll note what happens to you if you don't buy a ticket.
Here, stamp my, punch my ticket. Here it is. Honey, we should go buy tickets.
We should buy tickets.
Back to the front. Can we buy them retroactively?
We'll pay double.
Yeah, you could charge anything at that point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is. They noted in the story that he is suspected to be a drug addict. So likely drugs was a factor.
So after the lions ate him, were they walking around stoned?
I don't know, but I know if you're going to get eaten by a lion, I'd rather be stoned.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, I cannot argue with that.
A veterinarian student in Alabama is suspected of offering shelter for rescue horses.
Oh, that's nice.
That's very
but
nice.
then secretly selling them for slaughter in Mexico.
God.
Were they an associate of the president? Most likely.
Wow.
Trump friend and longtime associate.
Oh, they'll spin it that way.
Yes, they will.
She voted for Trump. She was in a MAGA hat. I love this. So she's a veterinary student in Alabama. Her name is Fallon Blackwood. She's 24.
Okay.
And she was arrested at a local rodeo following her indictment on 13 counts and her arrest on a similar charge last year in North Carolina. So here's what happened. She would take horses from Horse International.
Okay.
That's a nonprofit that helps find lost or stolen horses' homes. Well, first of all, they find them, and then they find them homes, lost or stolen. And so she said she would take them in. She's like, no, you got. I mean, you're placing a horse, right? It's hard enough to place all the dogs and cats and stuff, right? So she said, yeah, I'll take them in. And they're like, oh, look at this, wow, Fallon, look, she's taken 13 of them already. This is incredible. She's so prolific, finding homes. The homes ended up being in Mexico, and those homes were slaughterhouses.
Were they homes?
For about a minute.
Were they homes?
They were homes.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, they would rehome them. And
just so she didn't lie.
Yeah, she would reach out to those in need of caring for the horses, and then
did not lie.
Find them loving homes. And then she would sell them for slaughter in Mexico.
When she brought the horses in, did the people at the slaughtering plant love it?
They did.
Then there you have it.
She did solve a lot of problems
She
here,
did.
so I'm going to have to stand with her a little bit on this.
Yes. And quite frankly,
what problems did she solve? Glue shortage?
The overburdening
of horses.
Of horses. I mean, good grief! Everywhere you look around this town, there's horses.
Well, I mean, horse rescue is obviously a thing.
Of course it is.
There is.
And she solved those problems. And as far as those people knew, if they just didn't ask so many questions.
Right.
They went home believing that these horses were running free on a pasture somewhere.
Absolutely. They could have had that wonderful memory in their head for the rest of their lives.
Right.
But they got nosy.
They got nosy.
Yes.
And what happened? They found out
That's right.
Maybe it wasn't as they had known.
Again, do you want to be right? Do you want to be happy?
That's right.
Thank you.
They were happy living in their
proving
blind
my
little
point.
world that the horses were out to pasture, having a great old time.
Uh-huh.
And meanwhile, she, I'm sure, needs a little money. Capitalist, she made a little money. The slaughterhouses need supply.
Yes, they do.
They got it. And people need meat.
Yes, people do need
Everybody
meat.
won here until they got nosy.
Yes, everybody. You're absolutely right.
It's like mom and dad telling you that your little dog, Blackie,
He's on the roof.
he's on the roof. No. Where's Blackie? Where's Tiger?
Blackie went to a better place. Tiger went to a better place.
We took him to that farm
Yes.
where it's
Yes.
outdoors and he gets to run.
Yes. Yep. He's out running, frolicking in the field.
They had a bridge.
Uh-huh.
It was rainbow colored.
Well, you understand that little Fido, Fighty, he's at our house. We don't have enough room for him. Look,
Right.
he's in the backyard. He's
Right.
cramped.
He's not happy.
That's true.
So Dad took him for a ride
Yes.
out to a farm
Farm.
where they love him and he just gets to run and the's other doggies he gets to play with.
Yeah.
Plenty of food, and sunshine.
He
and-
gets doggy treats every day.
right. That's
He gets
where
aloe
he
vera
is.
massages.
Why is Dad in the backyard with a shovel?
This may or may not have happened to me, and I'm experiencing a little bit of PTSD at this very moment.
What do you mean?
I might have had a puppy that went to a farm.
Did he? That sounds so nice.
Now
What
I
was
don't
the-
freaking know.
What was the farm like?
I have no idea. I just know he's running in a field somewhere with other dogs. This is not funny.
Are there
Doc.
other animals?
There were lots of other animals.
Was it always sunny there?
Yes.
Lots of room to play? And is he smiling?
It's always sunny. They'll never get cold.
Have either of your parents ever visited a Mexican slaughterhouse?
Those records
I was
are
going to say
sealed.
no, but I don't know that now.
Have they ever visited a Korean slaughterhouse?
Nice.
There are things you don't want to know about your parents doing. That's one of them.
Oh, Ron. We love. What was your puppy's name?
Sandy.
Sandy. Oh, Ron. We take care of Sandy. Oh, Sandy. Sandy good. Sandy very good. Good, Sandy.
We love her long
Long.
time.
Sandy with the big hind juicy legs.
Get him on my lap, Sandy.
Sandy getting nice and fat.
Pet
Happy.
you. Pet you.
Pet you.
Hey, baby.
I'll pick Sandy up, put her on my lap, and bathe Sandy.
Good Sandy. Who loves Sandy? I do.
We changed name garlic cream sauce. We changed Sandy name to number 4.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have the Sandy with some broccoli. I love this woman. I've got to meet Fallon Blackwood. She's like this. She's like this. Oh my gosh, they're just giving these horses away.
Fallon, if you're listening, give us a call. 202.
I'd hire this woman. This is a problem solver here. And the brazen nature of going, I'll take the horse. And these dumbasses, they're like, she's placed so many. You know, we keep asking, we haven't placed one.
Where's she putting them all?
That's right. And she's getting, all those freaking flyer trips to
Oh,
Mexico.
Man. She got 8 vacations out of the deal.
Wow.
Have you noticed every time Fallon takes one of our horses,
She comes,
we see pictures on social media of Cancun?
right. She comes back with a tan.
Partay. She's also got a bridal store on the side. Bits, bridles, horse blankets.
Sarah Jessica Parker. Sarah
Oh, that
Jessica
kind of
Parker.
bridal.
Right.
You mean a tax store.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Sorry, Doc. I had to help you.
No, we actually
Sarah
talked about that.
Jessica Parker's new bridal,
Bridal store.
And tack.
And tack.
John Kerry's a big customer.
He's,
A Russian.
he's a co-owner.
I'm not only a client.
I
I'm
own
the president. A Russian man begged a judge to let his girlfriend go free after she had stabbed him 13 times.
Wait. Wait, can you please?
Wait,
yeah.
say who?
Oh.
Russian man's in court begging the judge to let his girlfriend go free because she had stabbed him 13 times.
What was an
okay.
accident?
No.
They were playing hide and seek.
Nope.
No?
She aggressively stabbed him, but he begged the judge, please let her go free.
Why?
I'm the one she stabbed. I don't want to let her go free so we can be married.
Oh,
Was he a glutton for punishment? I mean,
I would just say stupid. And
well,
by
there's
that, I mean
that. Yeah.
he's a male. And she's a
yes,
female.
Yes. I can. She has a certain set of skills.
Right now, the audience, as they often do, are saying you're missing one important question.
I know. I was about to ask.
What's the question?
Is she hot?
Of course she's hot. I've not seen pictures. But of course she's hot. She stabbed him 13 times, and he wants to marry her.
exactly.
That's a good point.
Is she hot?
She must be smoking hot. Smoking hot.
Thank you.
Or have that certain set of skills.
Yes, as she, just that one thing really
Yes,
well.
that one thing.
As she faced the judge to be sentenced, he apparently proposed to the woman quickly and then begged the judge, "Judge, please go easy on her so we can be married. You see, I just proposed."
I just proposed. We're going to be newlyweds.
The judge postponed the sentencing.
Really?
I don't know what's going to happen, but he postponed it.
That is, that's true love.
So, again, she must be hot because the judge is like, "Oh, she's pretty hot. Let me go ahead and help out."
She ain't bad.
Oh, that's
She's
her?
not bad.
Now, that's not stab me 13 times hot, though.
Yes, but when you couple that with that one little thing.
Oh, now that may be the case.
That
but
is,
pictures aren't going to show that.
There you go, Brad. Right there.
Oh, yeah, there. There
Showing
you go.
it to the people watching on the Facebook feed.
Yes, yeah. Now, she's not bad. She's not bad at all. I will give her
What am I
that.
saying, though? I've been just as stupid for a lot less hot than that.
Right? I
How
have
many
been
times were you married?
I've been metaphorically stabbed 117 times. So yeah, I can understand.
A
his
woman in
point.
Sydney was captured on video when she flashed her breast during a bizarre road rage clash.
Horrible.
Did you see the video of this?
I did not.
Circulated a few days ago.
Did not.
The incident unfolded in Sydney's southwest after the woman approached a female driver sitting inside a parked car. Now, we don't know what happened, but she came up to the woman who was sitting in a parked car and just went ballistic on this woman, just Vesuvius.
All right.
She just spewing whatever, and the woman just starts filming her, just screaming at the side window. And in the middle of her rant, she's just like, oh yeah, and she flopped out a titty. She just reached in and boom, right on camera. That's what she did.
I can. That's
So my question is, what good is that doing?
yeah. I think maybe her thought process was it throws them off. It keeps them slightly off balance.
I mean, if you're raging on somebody, aren't you trying to punish them somehow?
yes.
Now they pixelated the little breasticle there.
Okay.
So maybe
good.
it was really hideous. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you this ugly boob."
It could have been,
But which is stupid because you pretty much want to see them too.
right. Yes, I was going to say, but it was a woman in the car to whom she was
Women
flashing.
want to see them too. They played other women.
That's true. Yeah, who knows what a woman wants more than a woman?
So how is that part of road? Is this a new thing? Because I got to tell you, if this is a standard road rage procedure, I'm going to start pissing a lot more people off. I can tell you that.
Only the hot one.
I am. That's right.
You got to find out
I'm
if they're
parking my car right. I'm in the middle of the freeway out there.
sideswipe them.
Oh yeah, start flipping them off. Wait till the ladies come up. Oh, there it is. She recorded the entire confrontation, posted on social media. The woman screamed, flashed her boobicle, and then got in the car and drove away.
Wow. They never found her.
No, they did not.
Huh. Oh,
Maybe
well.
it's just Australia. Maybe it's an Australian thing. Maybe it's just standard.
That's not a boob. This is a boob. Well,
You call that a boob? The woman is not a drag.
ironically,
That's not her. That's not the video.
that's not her.
Nope.
Ironically, it's a Las Vegas woman caught flashing a family.
Is that when is that story? Does you see the story timestamp of that or date?
It is
Because I'm telling you, if this is a thing,
July 2016.
I don't know. Maybe
Wow.
maybe it's going to be a thing.
Maybe this is. If
Are
this
we getting in on the ground floor?
Oh, I want to buy a franchise. I am in on this one.
A woman in Woburn, Massachusetts, discovered a big bag of weed in her mailbox.
In where?
Woburn.
Woolburn?
Woburn.
Woolburn. Okay.
Ironically, Woburn.
Right.
Discovered a big bag of weed in her mailbox. She had not ordered it, and she didn't know where it came from.
Well,
Big bag of weed.
Yep.
bag of
Apparently, the dealer delivered it to the wrong house.
Well,
The cops shouldn't have too much trouble finding the perps because there is a perfect video of him putting it in her mailbox because they had a security cam there. I mean, like perfectly framed photo of him putting it in the mailbox.
so I'm assuming by the way you're explaining this that the woman who received said package of marijuana in the mail called the police.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a fail.
All right.
That's a fail.
all right. So far, I'm on the side of the guy who put the weed in the mailbox.
What do you mean?
I'm just, I'm in his corner. Is all I'm saying. I feel for him.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
it's,
saying.
yeah. So.
So here's the thing. You're delivering weed.
Yes.
Do you not have the address?
I would think you would maybe double check your drop off location prior to putting said package in
See,
box.
that's what I thought. And then I remembered if you're somebody who's delivering weed, likely you've smoked weed.
There is that possibility, that distinct possibility that he did partake of said product prior to placing package in
exactly.
box. Yes.
Deliver weed to the wrong address and captured on film doing so.
Yeah.
That's why they call it dope.
Yeah, I'm afraid in this case you're right.
Christina Fuhrer runs a poodle rescue and nonprofit. She has dealings with Mexican slaughterhouses. She runs a poodle rescue and nonprofit. Quick little pause here.
Poodle rescue.
Why?
Standard or miniature?
Oh, I have no idea. I think standard.
Whoa, those are big dogs.
Not standard. The small ones. Which one's the small ones?
Those are miniatures.
Shouldn't those be standard? And
No.
the big one's called giant?
No, the
It is
big
when it's
a
schnauzer.
standard poodle is actually a dog of war. I think didn't they use those in the Chinese?
Oh, please.
Yes.
A dog of war?
I believe poodles were dogs of war. Were
Those
they
are not. No dog of war would allow people to shave them the way they shave them.
That's why they're so pissed off. all
Are
the
they a
time.
dog of losing wars?
If I'm not mistaken, they were dogs of war.
The dogs of war
Let
who
loose the dogs of war.
that get their pansy asses kicked every time.
I think they were, but the little miniature poodles, those are little teacup poodles.
Yeah, those should be standard. When it comes to it comes
No,
to
those are-
schnauzers, there's schnauzers and there's giant schnauzers. Am I right?
Have you ever seen a giant schnauzer?
I have.
Have you ever
Ever
seen
one? Hate schnauzers.
They are a bit.
Anyways,
Yes.
So she runs a poodle rescue. You're missing the point of the story here. She runs a poodle rescue, and it's a nonprofit. She uses Facebook exclusively to promote it and advertise it. Okay. Recently, she got a message from Facebook that her page had been taken down because it violated their community standards for nudity.
Nudity? What? Who was nude?
It was a standard poodle.
What? No.
What?
Well, how? Okay, explain. Just explain, because I don't.
Hooray, we're being rescued. Wait, what? Mexico. Hooray. I love tacos.
Wait.
Puerto Vallarta. No, she they took her down her Facebook page for a community standard violation because of nudity. Some of the photos were flagged for nudity and sexual violence.
What?
Because do poodles often wear pants? No.
Oh, no.
She posted nude photos of poodles.
Of poodle
and
nudes?
Facebook took her down.
She posted poods?
Poodle nudes. Poots, exactly. And some of the photos, well, one featured a dog with, because they were rescues.
Right.
People abused them, right?
Yes. Yes.
And one of them had broken bones. One had a broken pelvis.
Right.
And they flagged it for not only nudity, but sexual violence.
You're joking.
No, Facebook flag. What do you think? Facebook takes this sort of sexual violence and nudity serious,
What
man.
the?
What are you missing here?
So, the common sense, I think that is the.
No, it was AI. They used
did
some
the-
kind of intelligence that picked out that picture.
Some sort of what?
AI.
Artificial intelligence.
Okay.
But,
Intelligence is still part of that.
oh,
you know.
yes. A
Or the
broken
lack thereof.
pelvis. How would it even recognize?
Okay, if you see somebody nude in a picture
Right.
with a broken pelvis, wouldn't you assume
How
Well,
would
first of all, that's a
how would I-
nudity violation,
Really?
right?
Yep, they're
Okay.
nude, right?
And broken bones, and it's a broken pelvis. You could assume, based on the pictures, that maybe there was some sexual violence, right? So there you go.
What about a car accident? You can break your pelvis in a car
Okay, well,
wreck.
forget that for a moment.
All
Just
right, okay,
nudity.
nudity.
Nude photos. You
All
can
right,
tell nude photos, right?
Yes, that generally because there's no clothing in them.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. You got to use a person as an example.
Oh, yeah, but a poodle is not a person, and a person is not a poodle.
Thank you. I believe that was John Paul Sargent who said that.
Yeah, I know. It's the fact that I have to
Were
make
the
that
poodles
statement.
nude? Were they nude?
Yes. All dogs are nude, except the poor bastards who have to wear the sweaters.
Thank you. So not all dogs are nude. Were these dogs nude?
Yes.
Okay. Does Facebook have a nudity policy?
Yes.
Then there you go. Weren't they right to flag her?
Yes. No. No. You can't.
You're
that's-
standing with Facebook?
No, they can't
You're
flag
standing
a
with
naked.
the woman
Brad.
Yes.
who's posting nude photos of innocent
The
puppies.
dogs shouldn't wear clothes.
Brad, Rod or Happy?
Damn
You want to be right or hat? Thank you. Thank you, guy next to me.
I hate you, Bob.
After she objected, Facebook researched it, and then they determined the page didn't violate their community standards, and they restored it. So Facebook does allow nude pet pictures.
There's a happy ending to this.
Nude pet pictures, and maybe ones that are the victim of sexual violence, I'm guessing, from other pets.
What?
I think it's time for us to go and check on Sandy.
I think it is.
That's all I'm saying. Get your comments in on social media. Tell us what you've learned.
is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches. The mothership has landed.
Someday, folks, someday, the story always comes out. It takes time,
Yes, it does.
but eventually the story always comes out. The truth will set you free.
You know what they say. It's all about
That one thing. Just that
timing.
one thing.
Timing.
Oh, timing. That's
Timing.
right. All right, get the communiques in via social media. My
Be careful,
acquaintance,
be careful.
Brad Staggs, will share them now.
Yes. A fundamentally existential kitty brought up a very good point. Doesn't the chlorophyll in parsley help get rid of odors?
Let me think about that. It may. It may.
I'm not a doctor, so I cannot make a ruling on
You know
that.
what else does?
but,
Kitty litter.
Yes, it does. But,
Not all of it. Some
No,
does.
no.
You got to get something beyond just that clay
Kitty
stuff.
litter can be an irritant, I have heard.
I've just come up with a product idea, at least a name for one.
Kitty litter.
Close.
Litter free?
Let's just move on.
Okie dokie. Jackie McJackhole, the current segment makes me ROR. Raff out loud.
Ram.
I see what.
Hey, we're going to Mexico. It's going to be fantastic. Hooray.
Glock packing slug, never marry crazy, just date it.
Thank you.
If more people would know that.
Think how much fun the world would be. And the crazy has fun with it, too.
Yes.
Because they don't get arrested for stabbing you.
Right.
There's never an opportunity.
Right. If we would all just follow the stinking rules, we'd all be a whole lot happier. And right.
You know, when we share stuff like that,
Yes.
we're giving you the benefit of our mistakes,
Yes, we
our
are.
wisdom.
We're givers.
Use this to your
Yes.
advantage.
Absolutely.
It's a life rule. It's a lesson. It's an opportunity for you to grow. I would say it's probably a relief from what you're doing now. If you keep making all of these mistakes, it's a relief. We're
Yes.
there
Yes.
helping you, giving you life hacks, and
Yes.
giving you relief if you have problems.
Think of us as the Confederate statues in your life. Don't tear us down.
We're a reminder.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we even do that when it comes to pain as well. If you've got
Yes, we do.
long-lasting pain, we can also be a relief. We've got the solution.
Yes, we do. And I've got mine in my pocket. Which pocket did I keep it in? Because now, during the week, with my Relief Factor, I'm taking 3 packets.
You keep Relief Factor in your pocket?
I do. Keep
I
it
keep
right there in my pocket.
Sunshine in my pocket.
I got good soul in my feet. No, the Relief Factor, here's the thing about it. I don't have to, I can actually decide for I don't have to call the doctor. I don't have to say, hey.
You started 4 sentences and didn't
I
complete
did,
any.
right? I'm just editing myself, and I can decide that today I'm taking 3 packets of this.
Factor? And I said, no. I ran out of Relief Factor. I need to get some Relief Factor.
See, that's why he called me in the middle of the night,
You know why he called you? Because I was like, I bet Brad does.
and I do.
Relief
I brought
Factor
extras.
is a relief from pain. If you have
Yes.
long-lasting pain,
Yeah.
pain that's been going on for years, try Relief Factor. It's a non-pharmaceutical.
Right.
It's not drugs. It's nothing like
Right.
that. It's based on basically supplements.
Botanicals and omega-3s.
It works.
Magic. It's got elven dust in it.
What's the percentage? Over 70%?
7 out of 10 people who order it again every month.
And the other people
Are
they're just dumb.
Yeah, they're dumb.
You
or
don't think
dead.
there's 30% dumb people out there? There you go.
I think it's
ReliefFactor.com. We're coming to you live from SHOT Show for now because it wraps up later today.
Today, yeah.
We'll be on from 3 to 5 Eastern time as well.
Which
3 to
is
5 Eastern time.
Noon to 2 if you're on the West Coast.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And, of course, the conservative cartel will follow us up, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
have great information from SHOT Show as well.
Yeah.
Roy joining us now. Roy from, what's the?
Zenith.
Zenith Firearms in Afton, Virginia.
I'm here with Zenith Firearms. I'm Acadian Armament out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you 2 new technologies in firearm sound suppression.
Awesome. That sounds great. Ron, can you give me a touch more volume there, too?
First of all,
There you go. Yes,
love the Louisiana accent.
I don't talk like that.
Yeah, oh, man, I love that. I love it.
So what are the technologies you're talking? What's the first one?
All right. First, the conventional suppressors use turbulence to suspend the unburned propellant.
Suppressor, most people commonly call
Silencers.
silencer. So there's new tech with the silencers. I'm going to need that with Beth, but that's a whole different thing.
It's called
You're
a muzzle.
Oh, okay, that's
yeah,
a different
it's completely
thing.
different.
Okay, you're talking
Completely
firearms,
different,
yes.
Okay, conventional silencers use turbulence in the flow to keep the unburned propellant suspended, giving it time to burn before it comes out.
Okay.
Okay, turbulence in a flow stream generates a restriction of flow. Restriction of flow causes back pressure. Back pressure causes bad stuff, cycling issues, stuff in your face, etc. So we
Okay.
want to
How
reduce
many
that.
times have I told you that?
I know. You keep telling me, and I don't listen.
Okay. I developed a suppressor for Zenith, which is why I'm here, using a new technology that uses laminar flow. And instead of trying to
What is Lammer flow?
it flows straight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's less resistance to float. Okay, and we were going to separate the solids from suspension instead of trying to keep them spinning.
Okay.
When we
Wait, okay. So in terms, this would be like a water hammer arrestor in a faucet, saying or a particle trap on a gas line.
think of your Dyson vacuum cleaner instead.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll show you.
All right.
Right. So ideally, we could push everything straight through without any kind of movement at all.
Okay.
We have a solid gas suspension. So what we're going to do, push it through here and let it kind of wobble. Now, when it wobbles, it's going to want to sling the solids, like your Dyson does, into little areas where they're stuck. And then they burn, convert to gas, and then come out. Okay? Can you see this?
Yeah.
By the way, if you're listening to the podcast right now, it's a cylinder about the 6 inches long there in your hand, maybe an inch in diameter.
Yeah, I'll put this up against anybody's 8
Yeah,
inch
but
can, right?
okay, but yeah, people
Just
are
for dimensions so
listening,
they
yeah.
understand.
And it's kind of a waffle pattern inside there, so it's a series of baffles going through the center of this tube.
Okay, finger to finger here, that's 9 inches, so this is about 5 inches.
Gotcha, about 5 inches. We'll have a bell catch-up segment later. Later.
So what happens is the solid gas suspension is coming through here, and it's kind of wobbling. And so when it changes directions, the gases change direction, but the solids go straight, and they get stuck in these pockets. And they burn, convert to gas, and then go out. These last two chambers are essentially a muzzle brake, and that's all there is.
Really?
Wow.
All right, so if there's solids, are you saying the solids at the end get essentially, they burn out, or do you clean it out, or what?
Well, there's several different kinds of solids. You have the solid unburned propellant. That's going to burn for the most part and come out. Then you're going to get vaporized gas and lead coalescing and depositing on some of the surfaces. The copper you can get out. The lead you really can't get out, but you can soften the stuff up underneath it.
Right.
You get in there and flick it out with a dental pick or an X-Acto knife or something.
Right.
Okay. And you designed this?
Yes, sir.
So where'd you come up with the idea?
In my sleep.
In your sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. You wake up thinking about this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
there's
got
a-
up in the middle of the night, wrote it down on a napkin.
I'm an engineer. Part of my background is process flow engineering.
Okay.
And this in process flow context is a scrubber.
Okay.
Okay, when, for instance, oil field, I was the facilities engineer for Shell Oil Company for the offshore oil platforms.
Yeah.
And when those fluids come out, they come out as a liquid with oil and water and emulsion and sand and gas and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the process, you're trying to get rid of the gas, and so you have to clean the gas. And part of cleaning the gas is cleaning the solids out of the gas, and then you also have to clean the gas and stuff else solids so you can deposit the solids. And this is a really very, very simple dry gas scrubber.
And that's what makes the simplicity is really what makes it genius, right? That's the key there.
Yeah, and here's what you can do. You can make a very, very small silencer. This right here will tame a 7-inch AR to hearing safe.
Really?
I
To
developed-
hearing safe.
to hearing-
Wow.
I developed this for a guy at the Department of State Anti-Terror Alliance. It was formerly DevGroup, 2000, 2010, and he asked me to develop a suppressor for the guys who have to hang on to their necks all day long.
Right.
And it had to be simple. It had to be small enough to fit inside of a narrow rail. It had to be, he said bulletproof. So what we did is we stuck this thing on a Mossberg Patrolman's bolt action 223.
Yeah.
And put a target 50 yards away, put it on the lead sled, fired, point of aim, point of impact. We unscrewed it 3 rounds from the barrel, point of impact shifted a little bit lower. We kept going until it was 9 rounds off the barrel. It was hanging 50 thousandths of an inch off the edge. Point of impact is 2 feet down. Took it apart, a couple of pieces of copper jacket stuck in there, flicked it off a dental pick, good to go.
Wow.
Try that with your
that's
mama's
cool.
suppressor.
So when
She'll beat you about the neck.
Oh yeah. So the specific design inside, you had the idea, but you didn't know it would look exactly like this, right?
My wife says I have the world's most expensive wind chime sitting at my house.
Okay, there it is. There it is. Because I'm curious. I mean, and then do you keep working on it to try to see if you can make it better? And
Well, what I'll do is, for instance, let's look at these two and compare them. Okay, so this is like I said, 5.56, and this is a 9mm.
so we're looking at the inside and the specific baffles.
Right. And you can see that the angle's a little bit different. And of course, the holes are a little bit different.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
And the flame propagation is different. It's 6 grains of powder in one, 25 grains of powder in the other. The velocity is different. All
It
these things
depends on the caliber and the type of weapon. Is that
right? And so what I'll do is, if I'm putting something new together, I'll experiment with angles and say, well, that one sucks more than that one, so let's use the one that sucks less. Okay. And we'll go with that and develop it. And at some point we have something that sounds really cool. And with minimal back pressure. You see, there's a lot of trade-offs that you do with any kind of thing. So. We can make these things real long and real fat and be extremely quiet, but you don't have to with this. And the conventional Maxim method has not really changed, even with the monocore baffles. Essentially, it's a progression of the same thing. So you have an event, it's an explosion, push it through a hole, you create turbulence, and you try to keep the gases spinning, and you let it burn some more and some more and some more until you get to the end. So in an infinitely long suppressor, it will be infinitely clean.
Right.
But, you really don't have that kind of room.
right? Exactly.
So in a standard or in a traditional suppressor, and technically a lot of people call them silencers. They aren't really silencers. They suppress the sound, but they.
Percy Maxim called them silent firearm. The ATF and NFA calls them silencers or mufflers. And Percy Maxim also created the muffler using the same kind of technology. So in the 80s, the term suppressors came out from the military. So bottom line, suppression is make it go away. Silence, silence is a relative thing. During the day, silent in here is
Right.
Then at night. But the most appropriate term for this is a muffler.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good-
that makes
I
perfect
think
sense.
we should all start calling them mufflers.
I
a
need
good
a
idea.
muffler for my AR.
So you're gonna Meineke?
Maybe.
So when you're
By the way, 5.56 on a 16-inch full auto.
Cool.
nice.
It's bubble suppressor. You can put it on a 22 all the way to the AR-15.
So when you're looking at your designs and you just mentioned the wind chime and that, and you're trying to come up with the right specs, right angles, right design, are you giving up? Is it about a balance? You're giving up at times, adjusting something to gain something else.
Yeah, I met the guys at Zenith last year at SHOT Show, and they had suppressors on their guns. And I said, which one do you like best? They said, we hate them all. And one of the reasons is because of too much back pressure, and too much back pressure in those weapons cause cycling issues, et cetera. So you have to either have a short and loud one or a very big long, quiet one. But that's what the progressive suppression method,
Okay.
the Maxim method. And so when I went to them and I said, here's what I have. I had a bunch of different parts. It was kind of a Lego set of parts that you can make them, longer, shorter, different parts, etc. I could have made this core out of aluminum. Could have made this body out of aluminum. But they said we like it like this, which for a little pistol would be maybe a little bit heavy.
Okay.
Which they didn't mind that because it balanced well on their gun. So that's what they like. So the compromises are in materials. For instance, this right here, the 9mm in full auto, that's not a big deal. With this in full auto, the material is a big deal.
So you're looking at weight and then accuracy, right? Those things are all you have to consider in there.
Absolutely. In the first issue of Suppressor Magazine, I forgot who put it out. First issue of Suppressor Magazine you open the cover, page 1, upper left-hand corner, had 2 targets. One was a tight group, one was a loose group. And they said, and I thought suppressors tighten up your group. No, they apparently had the reputation of messing up the group.
Okay.
So, like for instance, the 9mm pistols, the MP5s, they make a lot of lead. And if you have a suppressor that you can't take apart and clean, you will fill it full of lead, at some point. So what we want to do is make sure that this thing could be clean and easily maintained. Now, I'll take the spring out of here just because it's annoying. But what we want to be able to do with this thing right here is this is essentially a blast chamber. This is the 3-lug mount. This thing goes through this body. Can't show you. All right.
Oh, okay.
So if you got this thing completely full of lead and carbon and everything, you could take this thing out and throw it away if you had to. Take that part out and throw it away if you had to. You still have the rest of the part. or if you need to
So
maintain
you can't
or
with a
upgrade.
standard suppressor. You
You're not
can't
gonna-
with a standard muffler with a standard silencer. You can't do that, right? I mean, you can't take it apart, clean it, put it back together. Is it?
Some you can. Some you can.
All
Okay.
right.
But there are limitations.
Okay.
We can talk all day about
Right,
different
sure.
limitations, et cetera. But what I wanted to do with this one is to be able to have that flexibility. Now,
Right.
I didn't bring them all with me, but you have direct red mount, you had a recoil compensator mount, et cetera. But the bottom line is that you can take this thing right here.
It's like an
and-
erector set. I mean, you can
Like a
mix
le-
and match parts and.
Yeah, like a Lego.
It's like a Lego set.
Right.
So
I
what?
like a rector
What
set.
is this line called?
Uh,
Or they all have different names to different.
I made this for Zenith, and this
Okay.
this is Zenith. This is the Zenith D9Z. Okay?
Zenith D9Z.
You
So
know,
they're weapon specific.
Yes, they're weapon.
Okay.
The weapon specific. This is essentially for the the HK platform.
Right.
Now, I have a direct thread mount, so you can
Right.
put it on a carbine. You actually and with a recoil compensator, you can put it on pistol. We shot them off pistols, etc. If I was going to make this specifically for a pistol, I
Right.
would do some little changes. I would actually change some of the geometry in here. I could put an aluminum core. I can make this an aluminum body.
Does it
And-
bug you when you're watching like a James Bond movie and he goes and shoots his gun with a sound? He goes,
No,
because it doesn't sound like that when
Well, actually, in real life, it does.
just
If you
like
do it-
James Bond.
If you do it right.
I
Oh.
told you.
I've been doing it wrong.
I told
know.
you.
I'm an idiot. What am I? Very good. Where can people find out more about Zenith firearms? and
Okay,
this-
well,
and
you can
these
go
suppressors
to
or mufflers?
zenithfirearms.com, or you can find out more about these at Acadian Armament.
Acadia.
AcadianArmament.com or
Okay.
PredatorSilencers.com.
And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and post all of this information so people can find it themselves and check it all out. It's all fascinating, Roy. It's I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that really get into the science of the stuff that are loving it as well. The rest of us are like, hey, does it work? That's the key.
Right.
Because
Okay.
it's
But they're
difficult. bro.
cool.
They really are.
How much more time I got?
You got a couple of them.
Okay, I'm going to show you something you've never seen before.
Okay.
Wow. I,
Get ready. I've seen that,
you know
Roy.
what? I had that
I've
same
seen that,
offer
Roy.
out on
Okay.
the boulevard here about 20 minutes ago.
This suppressor right here is extremely different. Okay. I received a phone call one day. The guy said, I'm Dr. Michael Courtney with the BTG Research Group. We do ballistics research at the Department of Defense, stuff like that.
Right.
And he said, we've heard some things about suppressors that, quite frankly, we don't think are possible. So can we go down there and do some science on your silencer? I said, sure. So they came down and they researched this. They wrote a white paper and said, if you shoot through this suppressor, you will have significant reductions in yaw and drag.
Really? So
Over
basically,
unsuppressed and over conventional K-baffle mouse hole configuration suppressors. And I'm assuming you understand what that means, but essentially conventional suppressors.
Yeah, you're gonna have better luck with this one than you would with these others from a
Right.
scientific standpoint.
All right.
Sure.
And my shooters tell me, my shooters, they target stay. I'm not a shooter. I'm a point and click guy. Okay, I mean,
Right.
these guys hitting 10-inch steel at 1,000 yards. I'm lucky to hit the Piggly Wiggly. So
Can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Right,
okay.
right.
So the target stays in glass throughout the shot.
Right.
Okay. Even at 100, 200 yards, they see the hole punch. Okay.
Right.
So if you're a sniper, that's an important.
Sure.
Okay. And at long distances, they don't need to true their BC.
And just go ahead and explain BC for those listening.
When you have a long shot, you zero in at a distance 100 or 200 yards, and when you want to figure out what your holdover is, you put the parameters in the ballistics calculator,
Right.
and the ballistics coefficient of the bullet, and then you shoot, and
Up,
then
down, left, right.
Okay, right. Up and down. Okay.
Up and down.
And so you want to know what your holdover is, and then you shoot, and it will almost always come in low. So you have to go back and true your calculations for those unknowns that you couldn't take into effect. And the large unknowns are the effect of drag generated by yaw and the effect of drag generated by muzzle gases hanging onto the bullet. And the ballistics calculator does not take into consideration those two effects.
Gotcha.
So if we took those two effects away, then we're dead on.
Okay. Yeah.
And my guys are saying, and I'm not a long shooter, my guys are saying that at those distances, if they could hold it, they would get, and you can't even see the line.
Right.
But if they could hold it, they get with about 1.5 inch,
Wow.
plus or minus, on the horizontal.
Bottom
on
line,
the vertical.
accuracy is improved or maintained even when using
I
this.
have some great shooters. You know what Gunsight Academy is? Mike going to say, okay, they train. Okay, and I've had some very experienced, very very competent people come back and tell me that it tightens up their groups. Okay?
Awesome. ZenithFirearms.com. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but watch this.
ZenithFirearms.com.
Nice.
And Arcadian
Armament.
Acadian, not Arcade. AcadianArmament.com and ZenithFirearms.com.
Yep.
Roy, thanks so much, buddy. Really appreciate you joining us.
That is cool.
You were at a loss for words.
I was. I am. Seriously.
That's just because he's
I'm
been drinking
really
all
not
night.
bright, and I've been drinking all night. Thanks, Roy. Appreciate it. We're at SHOT Show in Las Vegas at Sands Expo Center. And got Matt Locke of the Conservative Cartel that will be coming up right after us for a couple of hours and explain what's going on here. Also touch on everything that's going on in the world of news, the important stuff, including the latest about Roger Stone.
Ah, yes.
He'll touch on
Indicted.
that.
Yes, he will.
He doesn't know it, but he's going to have to touch on what's going about Roger Stone. Okay,
yeah.
he's going to talk about that. Okay, he's on that as well.
Ironically, you can't hear him.
You can't hear him yet. He's
Very
across the
strange,
way.
yeah.
And also more on the SHOT Show. We'll be on for bonus material from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, telling you about a bunch more cool products, services, and companies. Right now, some communiques coming in.
Adam, his brain hurts.
Yep.
Dan Mater, it does. Erica, what you're saying is when Izzo talks about his pythons, he's not. Well, let's just move on from that.
Yep.
And MCM DMX DM Doc is a Schnauzer hater, but he loves the wiener dog.
I'll give you that. That makes sense. Yeah.
You know what? There's a couple of good hot dog stands along the strip.
I hate the Schnauzers. And that goes back, I'm admitting it, I hate it from my childhood. My mom had them, and I hated them then, and I hate them now.
Wow.
So even in the world of dogs, where some are okay, Schnauzers I don't like. Shepherds, they're fine, like that.
Nothing worse than a Schnauzer with an attitude.
I'll give you that.
I'm just saying.
Giant or other.
All wild animal pictures and nude pictures, therefore all wildlife photographers are being toms.
I'll give you that. Did you see the link from Kamala Harris?
I did not.
We mentioned it earlier, Trump and the border wall and the shutdown of the government and everything. She said if Trump is serious about the wall, let him open up Trump Tower and let our federal employees live there rent-free while the government is closed.
Wow, that's going to get crowded.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Again, can I share that again so you can?
Please.
Okay.
Please, yeah.
If Trump is serious about this wall,
yes,
let him open up Trump Tower
right,
and let our federal employees live there rent-free while the government is closed. Let's dissect that a moment.
Please do.
First of all, you've got government employees all across the country.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So logistically, there's a fail right there.
Seems to be, yes, a bit of a transportation.
Are they going to all move to New York or other places he has properties?
Might tip over.
Okay, that's the first thing. Number two, there are more government employees furloughed than would fit in his properties.
You know, it depends on how much space you need.
So logistically, again, a bit of a problem.
From a common sense
which
standpoint.
is a fail.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But beyond the logistics of this, this shows you also, this is, again, the apples and oranges.
Yes.
If Trump is serious about this wall, let him open up Trump Tower and let federal employees live there rent-free while the government is closed.
Right. Yeah.
Do you see, this is apples and oranges.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
He's serious about his wall.
Right.
What does that have to do with the employees living there? Because it's the shutdown?
Right. That essentially that they're never going to give in. I think that's what she's saying. They'll never give in to the wall, so he might as well open up his building so that there's a place for these people to stay.
So aside from logistics, she's not going to do well. Kamala Harris is not, based on this one statement, she and the people around her are not bright enough to play that game. If she's going to try to play that snarky game back and forth, they're not smart enough to do it. She's not going to be president.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, Freedom. MoJo 50. Daily Mojo.
Okay, we get some other communiques coming up in just a moment. I don't know what it is, but cell coverage in Vegas is horrible. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it is. It really.
How is it that cell phone coverage is bad in Vegas? That makes no sense to me. I know there's a lot of people here. Build 17 more towers.
I think the point is that in here they don't want you on your cell phone. They want you sitting there playing blackjack.
Outside of them, though.
Yeah, I think it's all the glass and steel superstructures they put in
Guys,
here.
I ran day before yesterday.
Who was chasing you?
Well, those records are
Yeah.
sealed, but it was about 3 miles. So I ran, I don't know, probably a tenth of a mile down the strip. I turned down Harmon, for those of you that know Vegas, headed over towards the east, went down to Paradise, went up about, I don't know, half mile on
How was
Paradise.
she, by the way?
She was fantastic. Then headed back over to the strip via Flamingo and back up to the strip or
Yep.
back down the strip south to my hotel. So a big square, big rectangle.
Yes.
And that's about 3 miles.
Okay.
On that trip, there were 3 places just randomly along there where absolute cell phone coverage data cut out.
Right.
Because I was running to soundtracks that were on YouTube. So sometimes I'll pull up YouTube and just listen.
Right.
Absolutely cut out. Holes in it. And that's the only time that happens.
Yeah, it's got to be all the buildings. It's got to be the big, tall buildings.
In my hotel room, boom, absolutely cuts out.
That has to be the.
And I started asking everybody because
Right.
I was like, oh my gosh, this isn't good, certain
Right.
coverage. No. It's exclusive. It's not exclusive to certain companies.
It's just everywhere.
It's
So
just
that-
how is that a failure?
You would
How do you
think
fail that?
But again, this is not a town that they really want you on your cell phone. They want you sitting
That's
at the
not the
blackjack
point. That's
table.
not the point, though. If you have this coverage gaps all over town, there's people who live here that run these towns. I mean, there's millions of people here.
All right.
And so it's not about that. That's not the reason it is. It's just a failure of service. It's not the hotels are designing it that way.
That's what you think.
No, it's not. We've realized that. They don't care about any of that stuff in the hotels anymore. They don't care about that. They let you take your cell phone out, take pictures. They don't care.
It is weird now.
Right. This is just a failure. If I lived in town, I don't know if I could live here with that.
It would be irritating.
I mean, we just depend on our phones that much now. That's the point. That, I don't download stuff. I usually just run to YouTube or something. You stream the data.
Well,
We do business here, and you have to have the Wi-Fi. You can't use your cell data.
right. Yeah. And maybe there's enough free Wi-Fi in this town that you can just.
Well, there wasn't in the hotel.
No, it's not free.
Seriously.
Yeah, I forgot.
So
This is
I'm
no
like,
longer free Vegas.
wow, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we depend on it so much. Make sure you have the best possible coverage.
Yeah.
And that is going to be with Patriot Mobile.
Right.
Best possible coverage you can get, the best customer service you're going to get, the best deals you're going to get, and people who think like you.
And they're good people. Yeah. That's the
They're
thing.
amazing people.
It's
always the question of coverage, though. It's a question, how's your coverage, Doc? It's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's always coverage, price, and then customer service.
Well, and I worry about that stuff when if you hit certain holes or whatever, you're like, how's Patriot Mobile doing here? And you compare it or whatever. They do great. They do fantastic. PatriotMobile.com/Doc. Sign up today.
Sorry, I'm just doing a catch-up bell session from the.
Okay. People got it.
No, I'm not sure that they did.
Wise guy.
Yeah, there were just a lot of.
What are you saying? You're better than me? Is that what's going on? I think you say you're better than me. PatriotMobile.com. Sign up for an account today. PatriotMobile.com/Doc.
They have chargers for your cell phones now if you're sitting playing video poker.
That I found fantastic.
They used to if you had your cell phone sitting
would
on
not
the.
let you have it
no,
up
so you're
there.
gonna have to put that back in your pocket.
Now,
And
originally,
your phone too.
ironically, they'd let you keep that out of your pocket. Back in the 90s when they were mainly car phones. Remember, they weren't even cell phones. And we made that slow transition into cell phones. They were
the brick phones.
Yeah, in the early 90s. But then by the time we got to midnight, 95, 96, you started up with smaller ones, little flip phones and all that stuff. Those things, they did not let you have them out at the table.
Right.
I remember.
And if I didn't wear a watch at the time, so if I'd want to check the time, I'd have to take it out. So
Oh, sure, yeah.
I'd have to look at my cell phone, removing it from my pocket.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to look down, they're like, sir.
Right.
And I'm like, it's I know you're not allowed to have it at the table. Now, they're plugging into the video poker. And it was true of video poker. They didn't want you filming anything in there.
Right.
Filming was verboten.
Right.
So they have you plug in, like where you put your like rewards card or that stuff. They have the USB port.
You know what they're doing? Sucking the data
Thank
right out
you.
of your phone.
That's what they're doing.
Damn it.
You're all connected there. Grand conspiracy.
That's how they know what you're going to pick next and how they avoid paying
That's
you.
how they knew to send so many whores down there in our path this morning targeting Brad.
This is a Black Mirror episode, Brad.
It is. Oh, I guarantee you they figured out some
Ron.
way in casinos.
I think you're
Ron.
right about that, Doc.
The fact that most of the prostitutes were black, I think that's inappropriate to say Black Mirror.
Wow.
Can't you just say a
I was
mirror
talking
episode?
about a cell phone, dude.
Oh, the show.
This show.
Oh.
The show which you
okay.
still haven't seen.
I don't know what that is.
But they have figured something out. They are triangulating your position within the casino. That's when they know the little video screens. They put up something that catches your eye and your eye exclusive. And I guarantee if anybody can do it,
Why
this
wouldn't
town
they?
figures it out.
Oh, they'll do that. They'll
they
absolutely
will find
do that.
a way to suck the money.
Yeah, the cell phone
out of
coverage
your
is not a
pocket.
problem for them. Otherwise, they would have fixed it.
Yeah.
If people stopped coming here because of it,
Yes.
they would fix it.
Yeah,
But it's not a problem. But
we have hit on it.
I gotta say, so earlier I was talking about how the town has changed. Obviously, towns change, and Vegas grows so rapidly. Yeah, it's going to change in 27 years since I was living here. But I'm not talking just the casinos. I'm talking the attitude where he said everything's expensive now.
Yes,
They just don't give you free stuff like they used to. I mean, you could just get comped for all kinds of stuff if you were even just playing a reasonable amount. The price of food was just a loss leader for them. They just, okay, we're gonna take a loss. Obviously, they use cheap food and stuff to get you into the casino so you could walk through. But even if they have little snack shops out on the street, they would just take a loss on it because it didn't matter. That was the big competition.
It does
Smartly, from a business standpoint, they realized we don't have to give it away.
Right. No, it's a different generation.
But from a customer standpoint, I'm not coming here.
Well, we are, unfortunately.
I mean, I'll come for SHOT Show. That's worth it.
We knew about the freebies. Think about that. We learned about the freebies from the generation before us who told, hey, if you do this, you can get free stuff. That's no longer the case. So the newer generations, the younger generations, they're not even wondering why they're not getting freebies. They gave freebies?
But see, there's something else, too. There was always this part of Vegas that is depressing. There is an underbelly of all of this that, if you look, is rather depressing. Homeless, the poverty. Those people that live here, everyone has several stories about people they know, things that they've seen. I worked with a guy who he had been in Vegas about 15 years, 10, 15 years.
Right.
And he moved here with the intention of killing himself.
That's not good.
No, so listen to this. This is fascinating. He lived in California or someplace and trouble with his marriage, some financial troubles. He draws out and liquidates everything he has into like $800, his entire worth.
Wow.
$800. Gets to town, sells his car for like $40. I mean, it was like that.
Right.
They have something called auto pawn here.
Surprising. They have shoe pawn here.
They do.
They have pants pawn.
I mean, the specific companies, you pawn your car.
No doubt.
Yeah. Someone was trying to open up kitty pawn.
Right. That
They
go
didn't want
so
any
well.
kids there, but that's a
No,
different
no,
business.
yeah.
And so he did it. His plan was this, because he also had a drug problem. He's like, I'm going to smoke it up and drink it up, and I'm going to gamble and I'm going to party until this $800 is out.
Right.
And he kept winning. This is a fascinating story. His name was Greg. I worked with him at 107.5 Radio in Vegas. And he goes, I kept winning. And he goes, when do you ever win like that?
Right.
He goes, weeks go by. He goes, and I'm not only have I not lost my $800, I was up to like $3-4 grand.
The Lord works in mysterious
So
ways.
he's smoking it up, and he's drinking it up.
Right.
And partying and eating and sustaining, and he's staying in hotels, and that several grand, 2, 3, whatever, just maintains for months and months. And he lived that lifestyle and lived off of it for the better part of a year.
That's
and
great.
finally, it was enough time where he got a little bit of hope.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
met a nice girl, shockingly, in this binge, met a nice girl.
If you tell me he gets hit by a bus at the end of this, I'm going to stab you in the eye.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
No, he didn't make it that far. Okay. He overdosed on heroin and died. He wouldn't have died. How would I know about the story, dumbass? I told you I met him 15 years later. No, he meets this nice girl who is nothing involved in any of this stuff, working at like 7-Eleven or something like this, and goes back to church because of her, gets clean, whatever, and loses all of his money. Has to get a job.
But at that point...
But in this, he meets this girl, and they get married, and they have kids, and everything, pulls around for him. Had a nice job. Started, always wanted to work in radio. Got in radio. Started working part-time there, and turned his life around.
I'm not kidding. The Lord works in mysterious ways. That is
right.
That pathway is.
I want to say it was like 8 to 10 months. It was just shy of a year that he went on this run. And he goes, and I just maintained that several. Now, he's spending along the way in gambling.
Right.
So, he's check into a hotel for a week.
Right.
During that time, recoup the amount of money spent on a hotel and partying.
Right.
And lots of drugs.
Which, surprisingly, you can get here in this town.
But you hear these stories, and if you drive off, if you drive off the Strip, you see a lot of homelessness, a lot of people downtown. I was working, and I was downtown one night, about 2-3 weeks after I moved to town. And if you go down to Fremont Street, which you hear the Strip in Fremont and downtown in these phrases. If you're not familiar with Vegas, the Las Vegas Strip runs basically north and south. There's a crook in it, kind of curves in the middle, but basically north and south, miles and miles. And south of Sahara to the end of the Strip is where most of the big hotels and casinos are, and they always have been. And
it's Paradise, Nevada. That's a strip.
It's right now, part of it because it's right to the east of the Strip.
It's technically not even Las Vegas.
I actually lived in Paradise. Paradise Road
I've never
runs.
been to Paradise.
Really? You should run to Paradise.
I think so.
It runs basically parallel to the Strip, and I lived a couple blocks off the Strip when I was here. And the iconic Las Vegas sign is at the south end of the Strip.
Right.
And then you've got downtown, which is that north of, you continue up the Strip.
Right.
Another few miles north of Sahara, and there's a street that crosses it called Fremont Street, and that was always downtown. That canopy with lights and that you see, the Fremont Street Experience.
The largest video screen in the world is what that is.
When they put that in, they called it the Fremont Street Experience.
Yes.
And it would be Fremont Street to the west. To the east of the Strip, there was nothing you wanted to see.
Oh, right. Well.
Small little, I don't even know what's down there now, but it's a couple.
It's kind of cool.
No, I mean to the east of it.
Yeah, if you go down,
extended it.
Yeah, if you go down Las Vegas Boulevard, turn left, you're on Fremont.
Right.
Turn right, it's this little plaza.
Okay.
Of
that
kind
was
of interesting stuff.
That was the end of the world when I was
right.
Okay, it was all the lights and glitz to the west side. Head that way. If you turn right, you're heading down there.
That's some art galleries.
It was a couple of like seedy, like motel style hotel casinos, and it was bad. And I'm in there one night. They had penny slots then, not back where now we have penny slots where you bet 4,000 pennies per pull.
Right.
And you have a chance. True, you could put in 3 cents max bet and have a chance of winning $87.
Now they're $5 machines disguised as penny machines.
I'm in there one night, and I go up, and the only restaurant in there was like this greasy spoon lunch counter with like 5 seats in there. And I walk up to get some water. We were doing some remote there as part of the radio station. Yeah, we were upscale.
Right.
And a guy comes up to me, and I don't even notice him at first. I notice the smell. I mean,
pleasant, like cologne, like
stank.
That kind of smell.
Stunk.
Bad.
And I was like, "What is that for?" Oh, there he is. Did you ever see the "In the Arms of an Angel" dog commercials?
Oh yeah.
The ones that make you cry because they sing that Sarah McLachlan song, and the dogs have like the eyeball hanging and the scar, and their fur is matted with their own feces and stuff.
Yes.
That was this guy.
Wow. Well, good.
He was like the human version of the worst of all of those dogs you see on it.
Flies.
And there he is. Oh yeah, right on his eyeball.
Right.
Just wandering around. Actually, even the flies were like, "Damn, this guy's bad. I'm out of here." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And he's at the counter, and he's chugging little creamers. The little creamers you open up and pour in your coffee. Just one after the other.
Chock full of protein.
Chock full of protein, and it was something for his belly.
Yeah.
And the guy running I was actually late, running the little fryer.
Right.
Turned around and saw him and goes, "Get out of here! I told you not to come in here." And he's on the way out grabbing a couple more. And I was like, "Oh, this is horrible."
Yeah.
Well, that's always been a part of this town. You know,
Yes.
you get off the strip.
Yes.
The problem is now that's on the strip.
Yes, it
Those
is.
people.
Yeah.
I don't mean that to be snotty. I mean, we should be helping them. But when you're on vacation, most of us don't go on vacation, to spend $4,000 or $5,000 or whatever you're ever to hang out with the great unwashed masses.
Right. Yeah, and yes, I see what you're saying. It was unusual in the past to see
They
that.
kept them off.
Yeah, they did.
Now, you may say you're driven to go and do that stuff, and wonderful for you. Most people are coming to Vegas not to see such things.
Right.
Okay? That's a problem. That was never on the strip. So you see that now more than you ever did.
Yeah.
And then the people that stop you and are hitting you up, and the prostitutes.
Yes.
Vegas always had prostitutes. They always handed out some of those cards. Nye counties where it's legal. Everyone knows this. They know the game.
And listen, don't misunderstand. There's some bad stuff that happens on the streets too.
Yeah, there's some bad. Don't
stuff,
get me
right,
wrong.
yeah.
No, and I've told the story. I was sitting at a blackjack table one time. Wife and I playing with the bartender, or the blackjack dealer goes, "Look at that right behind you." And there was just enough room behind us for a walkway, and then chairs facing the other way for a bar, small little bar. This was the Flamingo years ago. And he goes, "She's a prostitute. Watch this." And all of a sudden, a couple minutes later, cell phone rings, and she disappears, comes back down an hour later. We're like, "Oh, wow."
Fresh as a daisy.
So they were there, but it was kind of, you kind of had to look for them.
Right.
The actual, yeah, I think maybe.
Yeah.
Not now. Hey,
No.
baby, what's your dream when you're walking down the street? Brad and I were propositioned twice this morning by pimps.
Yeah. Yeah, and we took
Both
the better
of-
offer in case you're wondering. But
Yeah, both of them were pimps from many years ago.
Yeah, they did.
One
have
of them was a
stereotype,
fine young black gentleman who was dressed like a fine young black gentleman from the 1980s.
Yeah, he did have that look about him.
80s styling and profiling, what's cool and whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, want a party? Was that?
I think it was that
Something
or
about
something,
want a party.
Yes, very close to that.
And his was directed to Brad. First, Vegas has always had a lot of people out and about, but not like this morning on the strip.
That was a
At 4 in the morning.
crowded little
Yeah.
sidewalk for that time of day.
And so it was Brad and I, a bunch of people willing about it. And he kind of directed it to Brad and I and a bunch of other guys out there. Hey, you guys looking to party? And we keep walking, don't look, don't make eye contact, keep going.
Right.
We get down there, and the other guy goes, "Looking for girls, buddy?" "You looking for girls, buddy?" And I said to
girls,
Brad,
buddy.
"I'm glad he put the common buddy on there so we'd feel like it was retro." "Hey, buddy."
Hey, buddy, you looking for some dames?
Or that you're his friend.
You looking for some dames?
"Hey,
or
buddy,
some-
you looking for some dames?"
And,
Who says
games.
buddy like that? Now?
Hey.
You want the dames or the big gams?
Yeah,
the
you
nice gams?
Oh, yeah.
They're real tomatoes.
Yeah.
Seriously? We'll get you a couple tomatoes.
You want to go downtown and party?
Oh, yeah.
Coppa?
We saw prostitutes making deals this morning, 10. We only had to walk, 4 or 5 casinos down from where we're staying. We're staying in Paris.
Yeah.
We saw, how many did you see?
When I came down the escalator, there were about 6 of them. Six of them standing around one of the machines. One of them had just said goodbye to
Her friend?
John, whatever his name is.
Oh, nice.
At
I
least
didn't
she
know
was
his name
polite.
was John.
She was
Hey,
She was
polite.
saying goodbye to him.
Was she polite?
Yeah, she was polite.
Thank you.
Did she kiss him goodbye?
They don't kiss.
No, I don't think so.
They don't
That's
kiss.
right. That's how you know it was a
They
prostitute.
don't kiss.
Because we learned that from
But
the
look,
documentary Pretty Woman years
I'm
ago.
okay saying that they
Don't
were
kiss.
all pretty.
How much?
I'm
much
not
did
saying.
you
What do you
lose?
mean? How much?
How much did you lose, Ron?
I didn't lose anything.
Check the company credit card.
No, I did.
Sadly, each one of them probably making more money than us right now.
By the way,
Easy.
that is not a tax write-off for our company.
No, it is
Easy.
not.
I found that out the
I'm
hard.
with
I
you.
mean, That's not a tax write-off.
Right. That's
I'm
what
with
I've
you.
heard.
Tom and I
read
had to
that.
have that discussion last night. I'm with you.
Asking for a friend. But we did decide we're going downtown tonight.
And we're going to go down to
And we're
Fremont
going to
Street.
Fremont Street.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you if you're in the Vegas area tonight, maybe you're at SHOT Show, maybe you've listened to this broadcast, maybe you're within a driving distance, we will likely be at Binions Horseshoe tonight, throwing the bones, smoking some stogies, and having some highballs.
Where we won't
Plus,
be
we'll
is,
also be smoking, drinking, and gambling.
we won't be at Hidden Pizza.
That's secret pizza.
The
and I'll
secret pizza.
Explain that in a second or whatever. But yeah, I'm thinking probably. Are you cool with this? What's his name? I can't. Ron.
It's Ron.
Are you cool with this? I feel like, since you've joined the crew this week, new to the,
I
new to the crew,
appreciate it.
that you'd like to. What?
He's been here.
You'd
Been
like
with the
to
company
hang out with
since
us tonight.
April. Yeah, I'd like to hang out with you guys.
But maybe we go later tonight so we can all catch a little nap.
Oh, beforehand?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine because we still have to get up
That's-
early in the morning.
That's code for at about 8. Doc will call and say, I decided
I'm a little
not going out."
tired. I'm a little
Yeah.
tired.
He won't even call. You'll just get a text, staying in tonight. And you'll text back and you won't get an answer. That's how you know. And he'll be in the suite at the top of the hotel.
I think you guys have realized how I have been contained while I'm here and how much I like to gamble.
Brad has experience with this.
Not with that. No.
No, I have not seen the doctor.
I
in
have
action.
kept the lid on Bet and Freddie all week, having not gambled. You don't know what that's
Is that a
like.
euphemism?
Bet
You
and Freddie.
haven't gambled this week?
No,
Matt Locke has won $1,500.
no, he hasn't.
$6,000.
I think,
depending on
I
what-
think he was up $200 or $300 or $400.
He's won
No, he's not.
10
That's a lie.
grand.
People that say they're up 200, they're down 5. That's how it works.
I've,
You got to learn the Vegas code, new guy.
I've been down that road myself. How
But
much-
no, you guys are getting out. I'm just saying,
up a
I need
couple
to
hundred.
make sure I'm ready to go here because I haven't been feeling the best. So
Right.
maybe we head downtown about 8 o'clock-ish.
All right. What time are we going to Fremont Street then?
Oh, about 8:15.
All right. That's okay.
That
Just
8,
make sure we-
8:05.
Make sure.
I only need about
What
5.
are we going to do with the
Short
extra
now.
12 minutes?
So, but yeah, that'll be good. So we'll get some highballs, some stogies, head down there and throw the bones.
Yep.
And then we'll be good to go. So if you're in the area now, Secret Pizza.
Oh,
How did
man.
I even?
No, somebody put it on Facebook. I can't remember. Put it
Oh,
on,
yeah.
on Twitter.
Oh, that's right.
The
Well, we-
Tobies
of
mentioned
course.
it as well, but somebody else had first mentioned it.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody said, yeah, and I
Go to the
responded
Cosmo.
detail.
There's a secret
Yeah,
pizza place.
secret pizza.
And there's a nondescript hall on the second floor. You head down right near the elevator, and you go in there, and it's good pizza. It's good kind
It
of New
wasn't
York style
bad.
pizza.
It's-
Yeah,
It was
I
not
think-
bad. It was on the third floor, but we had to ask, "Where's Secret Pizza?"
and everybody knew.
Right.
So why is it the secret? Why
I
not
don't
just put a
know.
sign
They
at that
knew.
point?
They knew, but I fully expected the answer to be, "It's a secret."
Right.
Right.
They didn't. They was like, "Oh, it's in the hall, right?"
Right. They should make it
They
a
should-
little tougher to find.
Because there was kind of an allure to finding
Yes.
secret pizza, right?
Look, it's in the building, but I can't tell you.
right, exactly.
And so it depends. I mean, how badly do you
or
want to find
there
this?
should be like some sort of code. They should all be in on it.
Yeah. It should be. I mean, it's part of the game. It's part of the illusion. It's part of the allure. Make it secret.
Right.
Don't
Or-
make it so damn.
Or at the very least, they should send you to every other restaurant. Oh, you have to go over there.
right. And
you
you'll
know,
get a clue.
tell
You got
them-
to
tell
go-
them-
yes. Tell them the ostrich smokes at midnight. You got to go.
John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. The chair is against the wall. The chair is. They should go into a whole
They
bunch
should
of
do
that.
that.
crap.
That would be funny.
I mean,
Because then we could sit and watch people do this.
Yes.
And then once you're in on it, it's enclosed in glass, so you get to watch all the people trying to like.
Right.
Yes,
Yes, they're missing a huge opportunity here.
right, and you get to mock the other people.
Uh-huh. And the only thing that was the clue was there's no sign and there's a Galaga game at the doorway.
And there wasn't at the goal; it was inside.
It was
place.
inside the place.
But here's the other thing. Oh, the only thing about secret pizza, the only thing that made it a secret was there's no sign.
No, there is no sign. Right,
That's all
there's
it was.
A bunch of album covers lining both sides of the long hallway.
Yeah.
Retro album covers.
So they
going all
just
the way
cheaped
down.
out on a sign.
The secret is it's right next to the beer that's expensive as hell.
That could be
That-
any place. That doesn't really
That's
narrow it down
true.
in Vegas
That's-
that much
yeah.
or whatever.
But
So
it was a fascinating. It was.
you know, we realized too that we keep, and I'm gonna try to dive into this in the coming months. How the world has changed as an opportunity for all of us to make some cash. Everybody in the audience
like
to
that.
to realize some things.
I like that idea.
We have just scratched the surface on how the world has changed, and most people are
Yes.
not getting this.
Nope.
If you can figure this out, if you get it, that it has changed and how it's changed, you are going to make a bunch of money in the coming 10, 15 years or so. And we realized it again. If you go to these hotels like Cosmo and you look at the decorations, you're like, what the hell is this? It's what the younger generations find classy. The Cosmo is the Kardashians.
See, it looks like it's almost a cartoon representation of Vegas, though.
Yes, but that's what it is now.
You think that? I guess people do like it because people stay there.
Brad spent $5 on art from a vending machine.
I did, and it's very nice art. There's nothing wrong with that.
Did you see the art? I was so excited. I looked over and I saw a cigarette machine.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a cigarette machine.
It is a cigarette machine.
It's an old cigarette machine that they don't sell cigarettes. They sell things that are packaged that about the size of a cigarette.
Yes.
But it's little pieces of quote-unquote art.
What's it
It
called?
is
What's
art.
the machine called?
Artomatic.
Artomatic, yeah.
And it is. These are all, I think, if I'm not incorrect, they're all handmade pieces of art that you put in your money, and it's $5, and you get little pieces of artwork.
Explain what
that?
it is.
Well, in my case, it is a small wooden disc about the size of a 50-cent piece that you would consider it the mounting plate, and then wire that has been twisted into the shape of a flower. Hold it which way? That way? If you're watching on a Facebook feed, you can see it there. It's a cute little flower.
It's stupid. It's a little piece
It's
of wire.
not stupid.
How much was it?
How much?
$5.
Oh, yeah, stupid.
It is not stupid.
That's a stupid
This
piece of
took
wire.
somebody.
dude.
This took Allison Gardens on Instagram. This took more than $5 of her time.
Did you see
flower
what she just laid
sculpture?
there?
I did see that.
Flower. She laid her balls on the
She
table.
did. That's right. Keep the talent happy. That's a mark of a good producer. Exactly.
This, I think these are cool.
All right.
And it's signed by Allison.
All right. We should probably just move on here.
I don't know.
Okay.
All
Are you
right.
guys ready? Is that it?
Are we
Wrap
done?
this up.
Are we
We'll
done?
get this That's not it.
That's not
That's
it.
not the one. There we go.
That's the one.
What do you mean it's let's go?
All righty. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. I didn't say it, so stop. We learned the best art in Vegas comes from vending machines.
Yes.
We learned deliver weed to the wrong mailbox and get caught on camera. That's why they call it dope. We learned pro criminal tip number 4389. When in disguise committing crime, stay in character. That's going to help you there.
You know what's good for you.
We learned secret pizza is good, but not really a secret.
No, it's not.
Finally, we learned that Brad Staggs got taken, scammed out of $5 last night
I did
in
not.
Vegas.
It is a piece of art that I'm proud to own. Thank you, Allison.
Not art. Some people think it's art. It's not art.
It's art.
Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
Most importantly, I think I learned midgets are a gift from God.
They are a gift from God. Thank you,
And
God.
I love them. I also learned that
That's
right
stupid.
or happy, you can only pick one.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it's true. You can only pick one. There's a woman present. She's nodding in agreement.
That's because she lives with you.
You want to be right or you want to be happy?
She's learned that.
I learned never
Am I
serve
right?
never serve parsley as a garnish if you're serving roasted beaver. What? I think that, does that not go without saying? I learned the Punjab Zoo is serious about sneaking in. Do not do it. Buy a ticket. And I learned finally the art of silencers is so far above my pay grade, my ears are bleeding.
Yeah, maybe we move. Maybe we
Trying to
move
move
on.
on.
That. What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Contraband learned those sweaters don't cover the genitals. Still nude. I'm going to post
Is
pictures
that it?
of
Are we
me.
done here?
It's
Did we
just
run out
a
of
sweater.
time?
Wow.
We'll be back at 3 Eastern time. The wheels have come off. Remember, your Daily Mojo is today a
Ron
Phillips
Phillips.
production. 6 Emperor Tyrannus. Good night, Steve Cannon.
Wherever you are.
Onion. Now you go home. That's it. Okay,
Cops
good.
are here. Cops are here. Oh, you did it.